Well, they had a crash that went down.
That Kia wasn't running very well.
Oh my word, there's something happening up the road there. There's David Deacon, but it looks like David Deacon is having a spin, but got it back on the track. Got red flag, they will stop following runners, and they'll get a rerun. So yes, Deacon was up at Fallow by the look of it, which is always it's very good actually, very good to see. I found there's a little bit of a sweeping going on here, haven't we? Serious sweeping, serious sweeping. Look at the style. Beautiful style. Watching on the live stream, yeah, fantastic. Where do they grow those from? I don't know, but they're good, aren't they? They are good, they're sweepers. Yeah, if you fancy becoming a marshal, join the boys and girls and ladies and men in Orange, the Orange Army. The Orange Army will always welcome you volunteers to join them. It's the best way I know of getting back.
When I was waiting for the rain, so I had to sit on a really wet road on racing tyres. We went on most of the fence and broke away with it.
Oh, so it took you those two crashes back to back.
I was able to carry on with the broken radiator later on it boiled.
Did it break the end? This outfit made is kind of expensive, huh? Still got where. Something happened.
Now he's one of these MX-5 very popular cars on the hills now. It's a great cheap way of getting into hill climbing and other motorsports. You can buy and they go well,
We're going up there at the top of Seager Straight now with Alex Smith going round to Fallow up to Museum. There he goes into Fallow.
I'll just take over. We just had Mary Elliott just gone by us here at Triangle. She's the wife of Hugh Elliott that came up earlier, and Hugh is currently second in the class so far with his time of 63.82. So maybe Mary will be looking to maybe beat that. Let's see how she gets on with that. and will be followed by Will Goff. We'll be having a look at Will Goff shortly. Will Goff is driving today. He's driving his Alfa Romeo 4C, and here he comes now round Fletcher's Dello, comes down here into Triangle. The lights are on. This is a beautiful looking car, isn't it? Fine Italian engineering, composite carbon body, mid-engine car, 1700 turbocharged Fiat engine effectively, and blooming rapid it is too. He's already in purple sectors all the way up the hill, and in his class he's running in the road going series production over 2 litres, so he's fastest in the class so far, but some other quick runners, so we'll see what marker time he sends down, and then Adam Perrott will take over from him.
Okay, well, we've got a finishing time here for Will Goff. He was over the line at 60... No, he's still running. There he goes. 69.77. Not as fast perhaps as he wanted, but still nevertheless a very respectable target. Aaron Perrott in his Aston Martin is going up to the top now, and he will be not as fast as the last, but nevertheless still nipping through very tightly. Yeah, he's going very, very well. In fact, I misread the screen there. We've got a whole load of new language we've got to learn here on the computer. I'm trying to learn that as we go. But look at that Aston Martin. If you're watching on TV, you'll get a full glimpse of that beautiful car. Superb design. Coming round the museum now, round it goes, and looking good over the line for a 62. 62.50 for Aaron Perrott in his Aston Martin vintage, Chris.
Takes him over, so 62.5, 69.77 for Will Goff, and we got rather unusual. We got Paul Bealey in the Audi A1 S1. This is quite a potent little vehicle. This is obviously got 4-wheel drive on it as well, looking good. Just looking at his times, the times are excellent at the moment, and he'll be followed by David Feekins in the Clio 182. Here he comes now. He's very rapid. This car is a very well sorted little Clio, lightweight car, being really lightened down, potent engine in it. Very good driver, of course. Tony Feekins is his dad, who's normally out in his 205, and this is one of his sons, and be great to see. So Paul Bealey heads off up towards the line. He's not going to trouble the leaders, but actually in his class, he's in a different class. He's in the road going series production class with 4-wheel drive. So he's the first of those 4-wheel drive runners, and at the moment David Feekins is heading up towards Museum. Philip Steele has just left the line. Here he comes now in his Porsche 911 Carrera C4. This is a car, he entered one of these prize draws and he won this car for less than £1. Did you know that?
No, I did not know that. It's about time we had one of those raffles here. I think I could manage one of those for £1. I'd be all up for it. In he goes now. This is Andrew Coleman's Audi TT that we're watching right now. Is going round the top and coming down towards Triangle. There's the Audi. This is the Audi
Andrew Coleman
TTS Andrew Coleman, and doing well, doing very well.
Yeah, so Philip Steele anyway, in his Porsche, he's at Museum now, he's heading up towards the finish. He'll be followed by Andrew Coleman in the Audi TT. This is an interesting class with 4-wheel drive, so they're road-going 4-wheel drive cars. Philip Steele does a 69.26. He's currently leading that class. Paul Bealey did a 73.05, so Andrew Coleman be looking to beat that as we get a look at John Sharples. John Sharples from Manchester, regular competitor in his, this looks like a little Westfield Caterham, but this one actually is called a Marcel Motorsports WORXR, so yeah. It's got a little motorbike engine in it. Yeah. John drives it very well. And look, here comes Tony Feekins. I call him the entertainer in the 205. My goodness me, he has a go, doesn't he? He rolled last year. He had a big accident in one of his cars, rolled it at the top of Cedar Straight, wrote that car off, and then this was his other 205. Yeah. And so he's driving that one now. So it's coming fast and furious. So John Sharples, I think, is he in a class of his own on that class? Because there's only one car there.
Yes, he is. The road-going specialist production cars. There's just John Sharples on his own. So I think he may win the class.
Fair chance.
If he finishes, which of course he will. Tony Feekins there just going over the line right now with a 5:9.50 time. Good run for Feekins. As Chris said, the entertainer. Here goes Chris Scrivens, a Renault Clio, and that's just going through into Cedar Straight now. There we go.
Yeah, now this one is actually quite a well-worked little Clio as well, because we were in the modified ones, the modified production cars over 2 litres. Very potent engine, and this one here, this is Andy Fagan. Now this one is very rapid indeed. I think Andy Fagan's job is a locksmith, but he's certainly unlocking that car.
He's driving it like he stole it, as they say.
He is, and he could well win that class.
Well, we'll see.
So we will see. So Chris Scrivens over the line in a 63.17. Andy Fagan will be hot on his heels.
I think, yeah, Andy Fagan may well take that. We shall see.
Now here's a little favourite of mine. This is Gary Hull in the little Jedi, a little motorbike engine in the back, up to 1100 class. Small car, the Jedi, lovely little single-seater. He comes from Southampton, and he was a regular competitor here last year. And look, he's flying up the Cedar Straight there. Let me have a look now. Gary Hull, we've got a speed, I've got a speed of 95 miles an hour over the speed trap. Wow, rapid, eh?
That's very good. This is the racing cars over 600 to 1100, and the first of those is Gary Hull, and he's just cleared the line now with a 54.99. Nigel Pitt in his OMS coming round towards Triangle now, hot on the heels. Really pushing into Triangle. I've seen a rise in the speed. Isn't that a great paint job?
Yeah, and of course, Shoestring Racing calls himself. He's here with his partner Claire, and always entertaining. Comes from the Team Valley, a local man, but that's a very sorted little car, and he's a very rapid driver. We are in the 1100 class now. These boys are crazy, aren't they? They love it, don't they?
Yeah, they do. We're going to see some speeds right now. So Nigel over through Museum, over the line. Look at this time. That's a great time. 52.28 for Nigel Pitt in his OM&S, and there's the Alfa Romeo of Michael Crutchley making his way round in a class of 2.
Well, actually, this one here, this is we're in the classic saloons and sports cars, manufactured up to 1971. So this particular Alfa is a 1600cc car. It's like the car you would have seen in the back in the 60s and 70s. Italian police would have these.
I remember them on the road, I really do.
Now, there was Richard Jones just went by us in the little standard-looking Mini. We've got some great Minis here today. We're going to have Stuart Sampson following up in a minute, in a 998 Mini that's got a turbocharger on it as well.
They're ferocious.
Now, look at this. Here it is.
Whoa, round he goes.
Pretty little thing, isn't it?
Fits the track so well. There's got plenty of room on the corners because, of course, he's got a very narrow profile. But the Minis, they've done well in practice, and it seems they're going to do well this afternoon. Richard Jones's Mini over the line with a 65.75. Stuart Sampson still running, and he's up at the top right now.
Yeah, so here we got Wayne Blacker in the BMW, the modern Mini.
He lost a gear. He
had a bunch of neutrals there, but he's in the modern Mini BMW Cooper S. Much bigger car, but nevertheless very rapid. So Stuart Sampson finished in a 60. Oh, he's not quite finished.
No, he's just gone past Museum, and he's there now on a 75.36.
Right, 75.36. Stuart Sampson. Wayne Blacker gone by us, and now we're looking for Steve Jarrett. He's just here. He comes now. Steve Jarrett's in the BMW Mini Cooper S. Another one, black one. It looks relatively standard, but they're very rapid. These are bigger than the Minis of old. They've got much bigger wheels and tyres on them. Much more powerful engines, aren't they?
Yeah, there's nothing Mini about them at all nowadays. But the Mini today is about as big as the 1970s Land Rover. It's amazing how cars are increased in size.
So they're in the dues down to Motor Club Speed Championship, all these Minis, old and new. A nice little batch of them too, isn't there?
Lovely to see on the track. They really are a very pleasant looking vehicle, and certainly very nippy as well.
They are quick, actually, yeah, and of course they're so much bigger than the old ones. And have you seen the Mini Countrymans now? They're like blooming 4x4s.
They really are. We had a little wiggle on the back here from Zach Cobb in his Mini Cooper, the square-fronted Mini Cooper. Round he goes through triangle, pushing his way up to keepers. As Nigel Sampson, of course. What am I talking about? Zach Cobb has long since gone. It's Nigel Sampson's Austin Mini Club, and Zach Cobb has a 65.28. Nigel Sampson's Mini still running.
Yes, he's heading up over the Cedar Straight. Nigel Sampson, that old school Mini, 78 miles an hour through the speed trap. He's got the 1275 front on it as well, hasn't he? So he's already heading on his way into Museum, that tricky corner before the finish where he powers it down now, heading towards the finish, and he'll be followed by Maggie Richards in a little Renault Clio.
Well, hats off to the Clio drivers. I am amongst the elite. I myself drive a Clio. I'm not going to take it up the hill though, Chris. I don't think it's very fast.
I think he's probably quite. Yes, I mean, listen, these guys and girls, they're really having a go, aren't they?
They really are.
They're experienced, they're fast, they're brave, and it's great to see them on the hill. But that little Clio there's Maggie Richards in her little Clio. She was 66 miles an hour through the speed trap, and again, she's heading up towards Museum as we're going to get a look at Zoe Shearman. Zoe's in the Lotus Exige. Now,
what a car. This is my favourite car of the day, simply for the colour and the shape. It is a beautiful car. I love that Lotus. Expecting good things from that. Zoe Shearman did well in practice. Is that a shared car, Chris?
Yeah, normally with Michael Thompson, her husband. Yeah, that's right. So just looking at that, there's Michael. He was second in practice, and Michael. I don't know if these were the practice runs from this morning all the time, but either way, yes. So Zoe's just finished. Sorry, she hasn't finished.
No, she hasn't finished. She's just gone around Museum with a time of 57. She's going to go over the line with a time of about 66 seconds. 66.98 puts her in 5th place. 6th place of this.
Now Dave Wilson, he was the fastest in practice this morning. He's just gone by us in the Lotus Elise. These are perfect little hill climb cars. They're mid-engined, little Rover K series engines in the back of them, usually about 1800 cc's, and the balance of the cars is absolutely tremendous. He's got the hood down on that one, and he's enjoying the sunshine, dare I say it, nearly the sunshine. But look at that car, how it goes round there. We're watching it on the live stream. It's quite impressive. It just squats down. There's very little roll.
Lovely looking thing. He
Isn't it good?
Made light work of Museum there, and he's through. Slower time, however, 77.38. That won't put him anywhere near the top.
I don't understand that, because I wasn't in the box this morning, but the times we've got from this morning in practice, his best time was a 61.03. So I see the marshals.
Red flag.
He may have had an issue at Old Hall there
Okay.
Hall, and they're just inspecting the track there.
Yeah.
He may have had a spin or something, I suspect, don't you?
We certainly, a Mini earlier did a wobble at the top there. Maybe something came off.
No, I think he had a problem in that car looking at that time. So it is what it is. And so the marshals there at Hall, that's a corner that you can't see from here at Triangle. It's basically the first left-hand corner you come to off the start. And so anyway, they're coming back down the hill. It is end of batch. The flags are out, and we'll be into another batch very shortly. Well, that was good, wasn't it? Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed that very much. Give them a wave as they come in past, ladies and gentlemen. They've done a lot of work for us this afternoon. Show your appreciation, give them a wave and see if you get one back.
They haven't finished yet, of course.
Of course not.
No, they're going to have another go.
Absolutely.
Let's not wave them goodbye just yet.
No, don't wave them goodbye. It's just a hello.
Hello and goodbye, is
it? Hello, we like what you're doing. Here's a wave. Looking forward to your next bit.
Indeed, we're looking forward to the next bit. Yeah. So this is what happens in hill climbing. The hill, they go up to the top, they all wait up the top, and they all come back down as a batch. We don't have a return road here. This is a live estate. We have deers on the estate as well.
We do.
We have old deers. We have lots of deers. But no, this is This is where it's at.
It's happening, man.
This in the week, of course. Nobody's here.
Nobody.
Well, only the owners, of course.
Yeah. Is it the Loton family?
Yes. Sir Michael Layton,
Yeah.
Ellie Layton, of course, his daughter, is running the show these days.
Huge big house across the road, but it stands in ruin, I think, now. That would have been the family seat, I guess.
Well, no, excuse me? Did you say ruin? No, it's lived in, old chap. This is a proper house still.
No, I wasn't. I know that one's lived. I wasn't referring to that one. I was referring to the one next door.
Which one next door?
I'm not going to tell you. Let's change the subject.
Okay. All right. We move on swiftly.
Oh, dear. One day I'll get myself shot.
Okay, right. That aside, I'm just looking at some times here. So, we just had Gary Hull in the little Jedi. He went up in a 54.99. Again, these are
a good run.
Yeah, practice runs. I think he's registered for the Midland. Nigel Pitt went up in a 52.28. And then we had a whole bunch of minis. And I was just looking at the quickest ones of those. 65, 63. Nigel Sampson. Nigel in the old school mini, a 63.60. So quick. And then Zoe Sherman in the Lotus Exige. She did a 66.98. And Dave Wilson did a 77.38, but I think he had some problems on his run.
I think he did.
Yep, but that's all sorted. He's in one piece, the car's in one piece. They will go again.
They will. They'll live to fight another day, as they say. But of course, they do all get 2 runs of this, so.
Well, we're hoping to get 2 complete runs this afternoon. We're going to get time runs. We're still going to get practice for the Midland Championship runners.
Yes,
so they will all be practice. But the inter-club meeting will be time runs. And of course, we've got the bikes here today, plus the Morgan three-wheelers.
We've got several competitions going on
It's
in
all
one
happening,
day.
isn't it?
I love the Morgan three-wheelers. I've not been here in a season where they've run in such large numbers. So for me, it's an absolute new experience.
There was 2. Do you remember you said to me at the end of today? There was 2
Yes,
that unfortunately might not make it out this afternoon.
That's right. There was 2 on the back of the low loaders. So what happened up top, we do not know. But there will be Morgan running this afternoon, even if those 2 aren't included. We have a starter. Graham Manton is on the line in his Westfield. And off he goes. A little bit of a wheel spin. 2:38 through the first speed trap. Up to Hall. And onto the course he goes. Good to see the racing start again. Round the top we go, coming down now. Fletcher's Dallow, that's called. And it leads into the drop down towards Triangle and into our view. Here he is now. I'm seeing him live with my own eyes, watching him as he comes into this nasty left-hander, but takes it very well. Not pushing it too hard at the moment, but certainly a comfortable hold of the road, and he's following the great lines over the rumble strip, and away goes Graham Manton into Cedar Straight, where he's going to bang his foot down to see a little bit of speed across the top there. They make up lost time there. You can make a few seconds. 70 miles an hour across there for Graham Manton's Westfield, and Oliver Meek in his Honda S2000 is passing us now, Chris.
Yes, he is. So actually Graham did very well, 54.34, and that beautifully turned out little Westfield. But yeah, Oliver Meek, the Honda S2000, these are quite a desirable car now. They run that fabulous little Honda 2-litre engine in the front of them, and good example of these are changing hands for up to about £30,000. So
are they really?
They're becoming very desirable little cars.
I'll have 2 of those then.
Yeah, and you can see the shape of that Honda. But listen, here's a quick one. This is Robbie Holden in the Mazda Roadster. Well sorted little Moses. Sounds great, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so at this moment we're into the road going series production cars up to 2 litres. And Oliver Meek did a 67.75. Currently leading is Zoe Sherman, but we've got quite a few runners to come yet, haven't we?
We do have in this class, yeah. And at the moment in the Austin Mini, we've got Seb Cartwright coming towards Triangle and taking it very neatly indeed. Robin Holden still on the track at the top in his Mazda Roadster.
So that one there, that Mini, he's from Wordsley, but that's a 1293 supercharged Mini.
Goodness
So
me.
that's why he's in that class up to 2
Yeah.
litres, and you can hear that supercharger whining as it's heading up Cedar Straight there. Now, Seb, what did he do earlier? So yeah, Seb, he was actually towards the bottom end of the pack. As we get a quick look at David Garnett from Cheltenham in his Fiat Abarth 595. time regular driver. He used to drive a used to drive a modified Clio, but anyway, he's got that little Fiat now, and he's got about 170 horsepower out of that thing.
Okay, so we've got Seb Cartwright finishing on 74. David Garnett is up on museum in his Fiat Arbath, and we wait for Ian Richards' Renault Clio to join us here at Triangle. And here he comes right on cue, just as I said. A little wobble there as he comes down the straight, getting onto the brake now very quickly for that left hand, and round he goes. Certainly knows what he's doing there, took the track well, and up he goes off into keepers and making his way to the Cedar Straight. That's Ian Richards' Renault 5 Clio.
Okay, so he's going very well. That's a well-sorted little Clio. But have a look now. Michael Thompson is on his way. In the Lotus Exige, he shares with his wife Zoe. I think she owns the car. But here comes Michael. He's from Worksop, and he is a class record holder as well. Very rapid driver. He had a Honda S2000 that he held the class record in, and that one went bang in a big way at the top of Cedar Straight. The engine let go. So he's now driving his wife's Exige, and the Exige is an extremely rapid bit of kit, and I'm expecting great things. So just looking at his sector times there, he's in the purples, he's leading the class as Rob Wilson, another very quick driver in the Lotus Elise, goes by. So we're going to keep an eye on Michael Thompson. He's exiting museum, heading up towards the finish, hotly pursued by Rob Wilson in the Lotus Elise. So Michael Thompson's leading the class now with a 60.5.
That's the target to beat right now, and we've got Rob Wilson chasing that in his Lotus Elise. So 60.50 to beat. That's Michael Thompson just made now. We see how that stands up during the course of the afternoon. John Langmead.
Just to interrupt, this is Jonathan Langmead, golf pro from North Devon. He is also a class record holder on other hills. Very rapid driver in his little Lotus Elite. Well-sorted car. Can he get amongst them? In his practice times this morning, he managed to 64.67. And Rob Wilson's just led the class now with a 59.28, so he's leading the pack. Can Jonathan Langmead? No, he's a bit off the pace looking at his sector times. Here comes the Porsche the Alpine of Tim Elmer.
Tim Elmer's
Alpine. The
Alpine.
A110 Alpine, little French car, very nice indeed. So Jonathan goes through the line in a 60.37, takes him second in the class.
Place right now, and Tim Elmer, his Alpine is in the stages, not as fast as some of the others, but nevertheless holding his own as he goes round towards the museum top. And there we go. It's a beautiful looking car.
So now Tim Elmer's in a different class. So now he's the first of the road going series production cars over 2 litres. Now we're into the Porsche brigade. We're into some serious machinery here. This is a BMW as well. This is a new car on the hill this year. This is an example of Steve Atkins, the M2 competition car. Lots and lots of horsepower, this car. I think he could really put the cat amongst the pigeons, but it's going to be hard to predict the winner in that class. Anyway, over to you.
Yeah, they're all very closely matched at the moment, within the 50s and the 60s. Well, in fact, we've only got 2 in the 50s, but nevertheless, this is fast timing. We've got Richard Andrews' Porsche going past us right now, and look at the speed of that. Little air dam on the back to make sure he doesn't fly off the road. Steve Atkins is finishing now at 59.96, Chris.
Richard Andrews in hot pursuit.
Yes,
in that
indeed.
Beautiful Porsche GT4 RS. That is a serious competition car. That's a competition Porsche, that one. His lights are on as he goes through over into Fallow now, already heading up towards museum, hotly pursued by Richard York in his another Porsche, the 718 GT4 Club Sport. There's loads of different models, but they're all blooming fast, aren't they?
They are fast. As you say, it's the road going series production with a 58.36 now. Richard Andrews holding the fastest time in this category at the moment. Of course, another run to come. A little bit of smoke there from the wheels of Mike Meredith's Morgan as he goes around the triangle and pushing his way up towards keepers. There we go. Richard York's at the top now through museum and making his way, his final run to that finishing line. Mike Meredith very much on his heels as well with his Morgan, and having a nice run this afternoon, Chris, it looks.
Yeah, well, of course, that's nearly 5 litres of Rover V8 in the front of that one. Lighter car, very light car, the Morgan, made in Malvern, had this car for years, always rapid. As we get a quick look at Tony Adams in the Porsche Cayman. This is his brand new Porsche Cayman. He used to race Lotuses before this, but he bought this one, and it's all new to him. It's got an automatic PDK gearbox, and that's all new to him, having an auto box.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, really getting amongst it. He was quick when he had the Lotuses, and I'm sure he will be in this. But at the moment, we've got Richard Andrews in that fearsome GT4. The fastest. Oh, that's John Maycock. That'll be John Maycock. John used to hold the class record. I think he still does. And you can see the way he tries. He's a doctor from the Isle of Wight. He's had 2 years out of his hill climbing scene. He's had 2 years out, and he's come back to in the same car. And you can see he drives it like a man possessed, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He left a lot of his tyres
behind. Look at that up the top of
a lot of smoke.
Wow, he's trying.
Goodness me, he really is pushing this vehicle. Go John Maycock's Mazda.
And look at his sector times. He's going to head up towards the finish. He's looking to lead this class, going to the finish line. Come on,
it's
John.
58.1.
He goes leading the class. Well done, John. 2 years out of the sport, and he comes back, drives like a lunatic, and look at that result, 58.01. We got Simon Hutchinson on the hill now in his BMW M2 competition. He's already braking hard into Fallow, heading up towards Museum. Simon is an absolute trier. He's got a beast of a car, 500 brake horsepower in that car, drives it extremely well. Now what's he going to do? He's not going to beat the time, 60.80, which will take him into about 5th position at the moment.
2 seconds slower than the leading car. We have, of course, the Porsche here of
Purple Sectors leading so far.
That's right. It's Porsche GT4 RS Richard Snow. He's certainly leading on the stages, not so much in Triangle, a little bit slower through Triangle, but into Keepers he's picking his speed back up, and into Cedar. This is where they make their time.
Isn't this a great class of cars?
It's
Look, we
wonderful.
got some John Maycock. What a fantastic drive!
58.01,
and in the old Mazda, the turbocharged Mazda. Wow, that's terrific. Now look, Richard Snow's gone back into Purple Sectors. He could now lead the class. He's heading up towards the finish. The power of that big engine. He's going to go through in a 57.1 through, takes him into the lead.
So Richard Snow's Porsche there, GT4, taking the lead on this class. Here's Rodney Isles' Toyota Yaris. We like the Yaris class. They look good on the track, and they certainly bob along.
Yeah, now this is the road-going series production 4-wheel drive cars of any engine capacity. Now the fastest in practice was Rodney Isles. And he's at the moment he's showing Purple Sector, so he's obviously leading the way. But you can see these little Yarises, these were developed for rallying purposes, a homologation special effectively, and this is a 3-cylinder 1600cc turbocharged 4-wheel drive car, so it's got all the right bits on it, over 300 horsepower, so that's an awful lot in a little car like that. So Rodney does a 61.56, and he's hotly pursued by Tony Hawkins.
Another Yaris, Tony Hawkins, in the yellow zones on his cornering and the general speed. It's purple they look for on the board to make. That's a beautiful combination of colours there.
I'll tell you why it is, because Roger Stocks, that is in homage to Brawn Racing, so the yellow and the white. So when Jenson Button won the World Championship in the Brawn, that's the homage to that.
Well, how respectful. How respectful. It's going well. Roger Stocks' Toyota Yaris there, in homage, as Chris says.
I like that word, don't you?
Yeah,
homage.
It sounds like a yoghurt.
Does it? Homage yoghurt.
Homage Frey. Yeah.
Homage Frey. You're a one, aren't you?
I am A1. A1 is what I am.
Well, look, I'm just looking. So Tony Hawkins leading the class with a 61.40. Rodney Isles at a 61.56. As we get a look at Alan Mansfield is already with us here now. Alan in the I suppose, what colour would we call that? A sort of a...
It's a grey.
No, it's not. It's red. It's a red car.
That's not... Oh!
No, yeah. numpty. Hey, there you go.
Good to be back, Chris.
I
It's good
know.
to be
Well,
back, mate.
we all like to make a good mistake. I'm pretty good at that too. But yeah, Alan Mansfield, he's a regular competitor too.
Firebrand red. How about that?
Oh, okay. We'll try and find out the official colour they call it. But anyway, here comes young Pete Richards. Pete Richards, he's in the Golf R. Now look, he bought this. He had a Yaris.
Tidy.
He had a Yaris.
Yeah.
So he bought one of these Golfs. Over 300 horsepower, 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah.
Very quick. No, it's actually quite a lot more than 300. I think his is nearly 400. It's an awful lot anyway. And Pete Richards will be looking to beat 61.40. Now at the moment, he's in what we call yellow sectors. He's 82 miles an hour across the speed trap there. At the moment, he's a bit behind. So will he do it?
He's going to have to push a little harder.
Into another class, it's all happening fast. You're not used to this
Goodness
speed,
me,
are
yes,
we?
absolutely.
So we're into another class. We're into the road go. So we're now into the. We're still on the 4-wheel drive on our screen here, but Rob Lloyd is driving the MK Cup car, the little version like a Westfield, runs a bike engine in the front of that one. I think it's got a Suzuki Hayabusa in the front of it. Very quick. This is new to him this year. And he's really enjoying the power of this car. He's heading in on his way, and here comes Stuart Hook.
Stuart Hook in his Westfield.
Beautifully turned out car,
Absolutely. He's got his best clothes on. Round it goes through keepers onto the Cedar Straight for Stuart Hook, and he's in the yellow, which again is not too bad.
Now, when it shows on the live screen, if you're watching, yellow sectors mean that he's not as quick as the fastest ones are in purple sectors. So if we look on the screen now, we've got Malcolm Hickey in the Caterham 7. Here he comes, Malcolm. He's showing purple sectors at the moment, back to yellow. So he's right on the pace, close to leading the class. At the moment, we've got Rob Lloyd did that 60.85. Stuart Hook has just done a 66.09. Richard Price still to come. He was the quickest in practice this morning. My goodness me, I think this is Tim Higgins coming down to us now in that orange Westfield. These are such fun to drive, front engine cars. This one's running a normal conventional car engine as opposed to a bike engine, and very rapid it is too.
Yes, I was watching this one this morning. It's one of my favourites, this Tim Higgins Westfield. It's a lovely paint job on it as well. But they do hug the road, and they do look fun to drive, and they return with good times as well, Chris.
They do, but talking about fast times, here comes Richard Price heading into Triangle, locks it up big time. Wow, he's on the money. He's on the money. He's got two of these cars. They're both identical, actually. He had one stolen, and then during COVID lockdown, he rebuilt another, and then the original car turned up 6 years later.
After being stolen?
Yes.
What a great story.
Yeah, I know, absolutely
Good
true,
Lord.
but he is absolutely on the price. Look, Richard Price is really on the money, isn't he?
Yes,
He's
he
heading
is.
up. He's gonna take the lead in this class if he gets it to the finish. What's he gonna do?
Well, I really thought he was going to join us in the commentary box as he came towards on Triangle. He's got a mission, and we have a fail from Tim Higgins. Not sure what happened at the top there, but Richard Price goes across with a 57.10, a good time.
More than good. He's 2 seconds quicker than
It's
everybody else.
unbelievable.
57.10, fantastic stuff. Now
You
we've
have
got
to be
red
happy.
flags, we've got whistles blown.
Something's happening up there.
Something's happening. We've got somebody just walked off the start line there, just having a look, see at something or other. We've got Big Gareth coming to see us.
There's
How are we,
Gareth.
Gareth, this afternoon? Good.
Good to know.
So I hope you're enjoying your racing, folks. It's really hotting up. We've had two great classes there, haven't we? Love them.
Well, that was very dramatic. We saw a lot of smoke on that one.
Smoke and mirrors, eh?
Smoke and mirrors, yes. Don't show me a mirror.
Brilliant stuff. So we got the batch returning to the paddock from the top very
There
shortly.
they are if you're watching on your screen. They're all waiting patiently. A lot have come down without their engines on, of course, and preserved the fuel. But as I say, give them a wave when they go past. It was always nice, isn't it, Chris, to appreciate the work they're doing for us this afternoon.
They do, and one of the things you'll see is that when they do their final run of the day, they always wave to all the marshals, thanking the marshals
They do.
for being on post and helping them out.
Absolutely.
Because it's a lovely thing to do. So I thought that was a sensational class. John Maycock was leading it, wasn't he? That class, and then he got pipped in the end, didn't it?
He really did it. 2
my
seconds.
goodness me, that was some good stuff, wasn't it?
That was a great
Wow.
race.
Wow. Yeah, you can. Well, let's wave back up, shall we?
Yeah, why
There we
not?
go. We'll wave some, mate.
Yeah, we don't mind.
Yeah.
Hello there. How you doing?
Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to switch off a minute. Tell you what, doesn't it happen fast? Yeah. Well, we're back again. Gareth just told us a couple of things. The bar up behind us here in Triangle, the Fisher's, which is the building next to it, has got the live screen, so you can see, you can go up there and you can watch exactly what we're watching in the commentary box here, the live stream. And fantastic that is too.
With a pint as well.
With a pint, yes,
Doesn't
or a
that
soft
make
drink
sense?
or whatever, packet of nuts, who knows.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like the live stream. I don't know if we're, well, I assume we're live, because we normally live all over the world. So
Yes, indeed.
I haven't seen any comments from across the world, so perhaps we may or may not be.
Well, maybe we ought to start encouraging some comments. If you're watching from afar, let us know. Let's see who's the furthest. Last time we had people over in Africa and America and Australia. That's the joy of the internet. It's everywhere. You can just dip in and see what's going on. Stay with us all afternoon.
We want them to dip in and stay. We don't want them to dip out, do
No,
we? Eh?
no.
We don't want to drive them away, though, do we?
Yeah, we need more
Eh?
than a dip. A dip sounds ephemeral. Let's have a plunge.
Ephemeral, that's another good word, isn't it?
It's not bad, eh, on
Eh?
a Saturday afternoon.
Homage, ephemeral.
Yeah.
Well, what are we going to come out with next? Who knows?
Oh, well.
I don't even know where these words come from, do you?
The
Because
mind
you're a
boggles.
bit of a... Now listen,
It's
I know,
etymology.
but you are a scribe, you're a
Yes,
poet,
yes.
you're a singer,
I am.
you're a radio broadcaster. You see, I'm
Yeah.
just an old fisherman, you know, sort of dragged in for the day because nobody else would do it, you know.
Tight lines, tight
nobody
lines.
else would do it. I think. Well, do you remember when we first started a few years ago?
Oh, yeah.
We were a bit short then because we'd had, unfortunately, Eddie Walder had passed on.
That's
Steve
right.
Wilkinson didn't fancy the long
Yeah.
journey from Southport.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, Loton didn't have anyone, and I used to travel up with Jeff Robinson, our media mogul, who I'll be with. I'll see tomorrow.
The man in the hat.
He's the man in the hat's driving me tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so we sort of kind of started together. Now, didn't they do an advert or something?
Yes, they did. They did. It turns out I was writing. Oh, I still do. I write for a webpage called loveshrewsbury.com. I'm their theatre critic. And I saw this advert for commentators, you know, and I thought, well, that's interesting. It's microphone work, which is work I enjoy. And it's got racing cars. What's not to like? And we've had fun.
Well, we all started at the same time.
We did. I'm a year behind you now, though. I missed out last year.
Well, you just missed out last year because you did other things going on.
Health
but
reasons.
But I carried on, and as you know, I'm lucky enough to go to 4 different hills now.
Yes, you are.
And
yeah.
and that's great. So I go to Harewood up in Leeds. I go to Shelsley Walsh. I go to
Goodness
Prescott,
me.
and I come here.
Sometimes
but that all
all on the
started
same
here.
day.
Well,
Yeah.
sometimes like that. Yeah, sometimes I have to beam myself around, but it is
Yeah.
brilliant, isn't it? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
Loton Park though. We started here, and we're very grateful for that, and we love coming here because it's such a good hill, isn't it?
It's a great hill. It's a good course. It's got a lot of very nasty corners and bends, which offer a full challenge to the motorists. And we do have some spectacular racing on this course, and being a part of it is great. Chris, there's somebody on the starting line.
There is, and what I am getting these. We're getting into these little single-seaters. This is a shared single-seater.
Okay.
This is Steve Morgan, dad of Tom Morgan, and Tom will be up in this car later. He's driving this little Empire Evo 3. So if you don't know anything about Empires, there's several manufacturers in these small engine class cars, and Empire cars, they're from Taunton, Bill Chaplin. Again, they run a little Suzuki GSSX 1100cc engine in the back of them, And of course the class is always incredibly close, and if you look here, this is a beautifully turned out car.
Certainly in the purple zone on speed, no problem there. A Triangle really took that aggressively and left himself ready to sprint off up into to keepers, and keeping on that pressure. He's going that
This is new. We've got Richard Weaver. He's got a camera in his car, so what I'm seeing is live as he's seeing it, as he's driving it. So this is a new generation of HillClimb TV. Thank you, Richard, for this fantastic. Here's Richard Weaver, father of Tom Weaver and Lizzie Weaver, who's also driving later on. So Richard, he's gone into driving this single-seater with his son Tom. He's just heading round keepers there. He's on the starter. He's on the starter for the Zeta straight. He's heading up towards the speed trap, absolutely flying. He's seeing Fallow Bend looming up fast. Here he comes, left into there. He gets it round there. It's then a blind corner into Museum, and it's a long corner, and he heads it up towards the finish. My goodness me, it's just frozen on that, but he's finished in a 52.85 as Paul Jones, driving the Force TA shared with Darren Gumbly, is on the hill.
Well, 52 seconds for the last car. 52.85 is putting him in 4th position in the group. Paul Jones's Force TA is on the Cedar Straight right now at 96 miles an hour through the speed trap. We will have a good time here from Paul Jones. We've got to watch that as he goes around Museum.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's 51.71 from Paul Jones. Phil Fisher in the Swallow. He's just passed us on Triangle. Chris, what do you make of that?
Yeah, well, this is new to them this year. They did a swap for this car with a Westfield, and it's a 2-litre Ford engine in the back. They said it's a very tractable unit with about 250 brake horsepower. Goodness. What we're getting here, folks, is a lot of shared cars. We've just got Tricia Davis driving the little Force TA with the TKD V8 2-litre engine, which is built and produced by her husband, who will be driving the car up later on.
Okay.
Phil Fisher does a 6240.
62.40 for Phil Fisher, leaving him in 5th position. Tricia Davis here in the Force TA, a beautiful yellow looking car. It's looking yellow because it is yellow. So round Museum we go with Tricia Davis, and over the finishing line with a 53.35, putting her in 2nd position in the group. That's fantastic.
Now we're in the race. This class that she's in is in the racing cars 1600 to 2 litres, normally aspirated engines, so they're not fuel injection. They're not forced induction cars, rather. And Tricia, she's here with her husband Terry, who builds the engines for those cars. So he makes that out of 2 motorbike engines.
Good Lord. 2
V4 Yamaha motorbike engines put together with a common crank, as they call it. And it produces a lovely 2-litre engine that is also the same engine that's in the back of Jonathan Varley's Predator, which won the Midland Hillclimb Championship last year for twice on the trot. And we'll be getting a look at him very shortly.
Yes, the Predators are a gorgeous looking car.
Pretty? Isn't that pretty, that car?
They really stick to the track.
The thing about the Predator, it's so small. If you look how tiny it is, it's serious design in that car, and it's designed to be very small and very light, which obviously it succeeds at. So that's where we'll get a look at that one shortly. We've got just at the moment we've got nothing on the start line. I don't see any red flags out at the moment, but
a little bit quiet.
Could be back in action very shortly. The marshals are getting ready, so already this afternoon we're seeing some fantastic action there. Just looking at some of those times there, so so that time that we saw from Richard Price, it was a 57.1. Now in the single seaters, Stevie Morgan did a 51.99, Richard Weaver did a 52.85, Paul Jones in the class, the 1600 class, did a 51.71. Phil Fisher in his new Swallow car, he did a 62.40, and Trish Davis did an excellent 53.35 in their Force, which was brand new last season actually. I hear cars warming up.
I hear cars. Oh, here we go. We're back on the starting grid now. Quick hello to Team Flagwall. They just sent me a text to say they're watching and enjoying the live stream. Oh, that's Lottie and Lee. Hello to you guys. And stay with it. There's going to be some great racing this afternoon. I've got my old mate here with me, Chris Ponsford. Managed to make his way through about a 17-course dinner, and
I did. I went light on it today.
Light on it.
Well, I was eating yesterday's lunch, because when I got home last night, my missus had made today's lunch, so that stayed in the fridge for tomorrow. So I'm one behind, but I'm catching up.
You'll catch up.
There was enough to feed 10 people in my lunchbox.
There was. And you very, very generously offered me some. Here we go, back in action, coming round the triangle now. We have Calvin Broad in his Force TA, and he is pushing it into keepers. Look at that, hugging on the rumble strip as he goes through keepers and into Cedar Straight. Foot down on Cedar Straight. Let's go, see what he can do in that Force TA. Calvin Broad. Bernard Cavill following in the OMS 28. The OMS is very popular on the track here. We see them most years. Here it comes now towards Triangle, straight towards us, stands on that brake to get around that corner, and round he goes. Chris, they are moving.
Yes, well, that one of course runs a big IndyCar V8 in the back of it, so it's an absolute beast of a car.
Yeah.
Bernard Cavill, he's sharing the car with Simon Andrews. We've got Sean Gould about to leave the line, but listen, these cars are some of the quickest cars you're going to see here all weekend. Bernie Cavill drives this car extremely well. OMS cars built up in York, and as you can see, the power of that big V8, very quick indeed. Over the finish in a 51.54. But now, watch this one from Sean Gould in the Gould GR59 Judd. This is the man that builds these Gould cars at his Newbury base. This is the car that Matthew Ryder will be driving later. Matthew Ryder won the championship in this car last year. First time British Hillclimb champion, and extremely quick. Sean has held the hill record here in the past. He's already well into purple sectors, absolutely flying up the track. My goodness me, this is exciting stuff. Into Museum, comes round Museum, floors it to the finish.
This is unbelievable. Look at this, it's 46.21.
Quickest we've seen so far.
There goes Sean Gold, top of the class right now. Well done, Sean. We're followed by Joseph Mackerel's Tiger, and he's certainly giving it a damn fair try. He's in the purple zone.
He'll be in an historic class for this one. This is a much older car.
Yeah.
This is like a 2-litre powered car, but Joe Mackerel, good to see him out again. Old school car, not the same sophistication as those later Goulds. And he'll be followed by Martin Rutcher in the rather unusual Fiat X19. So yeah, Joe Mackerel is I think he's looking at this. He's in the sports production racing cars manufactured before 1990. So he's just taken the class lead with a 59.95, and we're looking for Robin Johnson, who's sharing the car with.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see how he gets on. But here we've got the Fiat X19.
That's right, the Martin Rutter making his way to Cedar Straight. He's in the purple, so he's pushing the car well. And his last time on this run was 70 seconds. He seems faster than that at the moment.
But he's in a class of his own because Andrew Russell is actually withdrawn, so he's not here anymore. Okay. So he's going to win this class. But this is rather nice old Fiat. Now look at this one, folks. This is Nigel Elliott in the TR7 V8 twin turbocharged. Hear the sound of that, doesn't that sound good? Oh, Nigel, he's from Clee Hill, actually. He's down that, not far from here, to be fair.
Right, so he's a local lad, and the only Triumph racing today on the track, I believe. But it's great to see a TR7. There's a little bit of nostalgia. If you're over 50, you'll know what I'm talking about. Everyone used to zip around in those beautifully designed cars. Goodness me, we lost our industry, and it always saddens me.
It does sadden me, but this particular one with the Rover V8, this was the type of example driven by Tony Pond in the rallies, but this one is a twin turbocharged monster. And we're going to get a look at Jamie Chalmers in the Rolt. Now this looks silver, it looks like a mini Mercedes single-seater of old that Lewis Hamilton would have driven. It's not quite the same, but it looks it with that That's silver, that Teutonic silver, isn't it, really?
It is.
And of course, that's a turbocharged bike engine in that with about 400 brake horsepower. Very rapid indeed. So Jamie Chalmers, okay, what can he do?
Well, we will see as he makes his way through the Cedar Straight. He's going up to Museum now on 48 seconds past Museum. That's not bad, but here we go. This is the final flurry. Pushes it to the finishing line and gets himself a 56. Jamie Chalmers, Paul Howells following in the Porsche 911. 23 seconds through Triangle, Chris.
Yeah, now this is a beast of a Porsche, an old school 911. This is like the car to have. It flat six engine. It's not got all the modern gizmos, but it's got huge amounts of grunt. And it's rear-wheel drive, probably got about 450 horsepower, soars at the wheels. As we get a look at Stephen Moore, our farmer from near Salisbury. Stephen has won the Midland Championship in the past. Yeah, and I was talking to him this morning. All the crops in the ground, they're a month ahead of last year. So he's now putting spray on the ground now to sort of stop the nasty things.
Yeah.
But
a month ahead.
Yeah, he's got a mixed crop. He's got arable. But this particular car is his middle Evo out of 3.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
so that's pretty exciting.
Yeah,
Four-wheel drive, 600 odd horsepower. He's actually in his class of his own again. Nobody else in the class. He goes over the line in a 57.08.
7.08. That's incredible. 7 seconds faster than practice. But of course the track is drier. So let's have a look at Steve Garner's Westfield. How's he doing? He's up at the top at the moment, going round off the Cedar Straight and into Museum.
So we've got some interesting stuff here, because Steve Garner, this is in this little class of modified specialist production cars. Phil Goff was leading the way this morning with a 58.14. Steve Garner has just posted a 58.82 and will be followed by Becky Manton in the Westfield, and then Phil Goff in the Caterham 7. So Becky Manton, beautifully turned out car this actually. I do like this one, the colour scheme on it. It's everything looks right on the car. And here comes a screaming Phil Goff, my goodness me, from Maggle in Liverpool. He's in purple sectors. He is absolutely on a mission. This is a Hayabusa motorbike engine in the front of this one, and doesn't it sound good and go well? Look at it, purple sectors.
That is superb, 32 pass keepers. Yes, it does. The motorcycle engine is actually giving it a lot of grunt, and it's held his own perfectly well. They're lovely little cars, the Caterham 7s, so that's Phil Goff. Goodness me, wait till you see the car of David Bickley in his Radical. It's a beauty. And the Radical, there it is now. Look at that, coming around, going around to Cedar Straight. Doesn't it look just perfect?
It does. The Radicals are great, actually. They're proper little sports cars. They're running Suzuki Hayabusa engines, and this one actually is down in power compared with the one that's just coming into Triangle. This is Matthew Price in his second season. This one's got about 280 brake horsepower as opposed to about 200 odd for David Bickley. He won his class last year in this car. He's a young man on a mission, and as you can see, he drives it beautifully. It's stuck to the track like glue,
really,
isn't
it's
it?
fantastic how he holds the track. Look at that. All space being used, all angles, all designed to get that extra grunt, that extra speed. And he's squeezing it out very well indeed with a 51.42.
Yes, but look, here comes Alan McDonald from Scotland. My goodness me, long-standing competitor. He's in this lovely little Force SR, very unusual Force sports car. Again, motorbike engine in this car. Previous owner was a lad called Rob Stevens, who used to held class records ridiculous. Did a 25 at Shrewsbury in this car, so it's a really quick thing. So, but at the moment, Matthew Price did a 51.42. Can Alan McDonald get near that as we get Nigel Hinton coming towards us in the NCTE V8?
Well, you were asking about Alan McDonald's Force. Would he make that 51? He got 54.59 in the end. Nigel Hinton, he's in the purple zones. He's doing fine in his NG. The practice was good at the NG as well. Let's have a look how he did this morning. They've taken it away and put it back. 71.11, 64.
Yes, but earlier he did a 64.28, but he was up against Graham Lokes. So here he comes now in his Lola Porsche. Graham Lokes, my goodness me, that is a beautifully sorted motor car. He built that Porsche engine, put it in the back of that Lola. He drives it very well. He's a local man from Wolverhampton Way. I think he's on the committee of the Loton Club, the Hackney Club as well. But look at that as it heads up towards the sea straight.
Fantastic looking car. I picked that out this
78 up
morning.
the straight.
Yeah, I picked on that one this morning. I said it looked rather like a boat, but it is a heck of a car, and it seems that they just cling to the track, don't they?
Oh, absolutely. Look, he's heading towards the finish in a 57.88. He's going to lead that class and probably win that class because Nigel Hinton's car is a lot heavier, a lot different to that sports car. We got some bikes.
Now then, motorcycle fans, here we go. Mark Stafford's going to be the first one round on his KTM. And you see, we were talking about styles this morning. You'll see some will put their foot out, some won't, some will bend their knee out, and some just try and get round without any limb help at all, which is probably better. The minute you put a third limb down, you're creating friction and slowing the bike. So round he goes, through triangle. Mark Stafford in the purple zone, so he's going for a good time. Over 500cc the class is, and there he goes on up into the Cedar Straight. Should get a nice little nippy speed across the Cedar Straight on that KTM. It's going well at the moment in the purple zones if you're watching on your TV. And
so what we've got here, we've got the over 500cc class that Mark Stafford was in. They're divided into basically engine capacities. Yeah. And we've also got the sidecars as well, haven't we?
We've got three of them. Oh, they're wonderful, the Fosters.
Yeah, the Fosters. Yeah, a lot of Fosters here today. We've got Mark and James Foster. We've got Simon and Jane Foster.
We have.
And we've got John Warren and Mark Stafford. So we've got three in that sidecars and trikes. And then basically we've got the solos up to 500cc.
And now we've got the Morgans on the track.
Oh my God, we've got a mixture, haven't we?
We've got the three-wheeler standard. Look at this beautiful car. It's not going to break any world records, but it certainly may win its own class. That's Stephen Kay and Lucy Hawker in the Morgan 933. Yeah, it's a slower time, but what a beautiful car.
Isn't it lovely?
They're great fun to watch, aren't they?
Yeah, nice to see them out to play, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
The Morgan three-wheelers,
Classics.
produced in Malvern, of course, the Morgan three-wheelers. And this is probably the steadiest of the ones we've got on display here today.
I didn't know they were from Worcester. That's incredible.
Malvern, actually, very close.
Yeah, it's Worcestershire, isn't it?
Yeah,
Malvern?
indeed, Malvern Motor Company. Yes.
Yeah, goodness me.
And I see that because this one is making very steady progress up the hill.
Steady's a nice word for
You like
it.
that word?
I
do you?
like that word. It is
like
steady,
that?
isn't
Fred
it?
Dibney said, "Do you like
Do you like that?
Do you like that?" And you remember when he used to knock them chimneys down? And
I do remember.
And then he used to set the fire underneath, didn't he?
Yeah,
And then he'd have the pit props holding it up, and then the fire would burn everything away. And then as a thing was about to go, he'd get his clacks and he'd go pop, 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 pop. And he said, it's going. And then he'd run out of the way and there'd be all this dust and smoke and everything. And you think, and has he come out of that alive? And then he'd come out at the end of it and he'd say, did you like that?
Do you like that?
A good old Fred.
He was the master of the understatement.
Oh, we like Fred. And what a brave man. I mean, come on. Putting up all those ladders up the side of those chimneys.
I wouldn't do it.
But then one mistake and it's good night.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know.
He was fearless. The man was fearless.
He was fearless.
I saw him once. He came to Shropshire.
Did you?
Yeah, he came to the Oxen Steam Rally, and I was there at that time.
Fabulous.
And he was driving his steam engine around. He didn't stop to buy us a beer, which I thought he would have done, obviously. But
he had to buy a lot of beers, I think, wouldn't he?
Well, I imagine.
Everyone wanted to talk to Fred,
all
didn't
queuing
they?
Up
They all wanted
forever.
to talk to Fred.
And now the whistle goes.
Batch returning to
batch
Paddock.
return. Okay,
Wow.
So that's it. The Morgan made it in a phenomenal time of 120 odd seconds, I think it was.
But it made it.
It made it.
Because only little engines, you know.
Oh yeah.
Tiddly little engines, 2-seaters, 3 wheels. 3 wheels on my wagon. Do you remember that one?
Oh, and I keep rolling along. Cherokees
Them
are after
Cherokees,
me.
they're chasing me.
The burning spears burn my ears, but I'm singing a happy song.
You've got to be old to remember that one, haven't you, right? But
What
we
do you mean
remember
old?
that.
Yeah.
We remember that one.
Yes, my grandfather taught it me.
And hang on a minute. Now, this is testing your memory.
Go
then.
on.
So
If it's music,
who
I'll
sang
get
it then?
Oh, good, I won't get
Oh,
that.
aye.
Oh, hippity, 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 hey. Don't know. No, I've drawn a blank there, Chris.
Yeah, do you know what? It's not coming back to me either at this moment. But
Everyone
no,
reaching for Google
I
now,
will.
aren't they?
No, I won't do that. You can reach for Google, but I'm going to try and remember that through the course of the afternoon. But anyway, it was quite a big hit at the time, wasn't it?
It was massive.
Massive.
Massive. It
Massive.
was monsters.
Monster hit, yeah. So we've just, now, actually,
I counted at least 6.
yeah, but how many are left? We had 2 on the trailer, didn't we? 2 on the trailer. So, well, we will see shortly. Won't we? Looking at the entry, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
well, maybe there's still to come.
Well, I hope so. I do want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
see them, but
Yeah.
as we said, there was 2 on the low.
Because it's the end of the batch, we'll be getting some more. Yeah, it's end of batch. We ran out of room up in the top paddock, basically.
So if you're watching the live stream at the moment, you'll see we're going around again with
Richard Weaver.
Richard Weaver, and it's a great point of view. Look at that. Oh, get that off. That's it.
Unfortunately, it did seem to run out at that stage, but actually we got a great view of Richard. This is an innovation for HillClimb.TV this year. They're putting cameras on the cars. I think that's brilliant.
Oh, it's a wonderful thing to do. I mean, you can't get much closer than sitting next to the driver, can you?
Let's just mention that behind us, up at by the bar there,
yeah.
The building next to the bar, they've got the live screen.
Yeah.
So that's exciting, isn't it? So you can go and enjoy a drink, chill out, and watch the live stream. See exactly what we're seeing here in our triangle commentary box. Fantastic to see. And and then we've still got more cars to come. So we think we were going to go for 2 runs this afternoon, from what I remember.
Yes, I think it's 2 runs each, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Because we've got a full entry here at Loton Park today. About 150 cars and bikes, haven't we? Which is absolutely fantastic.
Incredible, isn't it?
Yep.
Incredible.
And we hope if you're spectating, you're enjoying the action. We've got the ice cream van up behind
Mr. Whippy!
us. Yes, there's Mr. Whippy, I think, up behind us there. We've got the bar open.
There's
We've got the
also
regalia shop.
the regalia,
Just check
yeah.
that the regalia shop's still open.
Let's have a look.
Have a looky wookie.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, we got
Hello.
some lovely things in there. We've got brand new hoodies.
They've got
got
orange
some-
this year.
they've got all sorts of colours this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got gilets, you know, those waistcoat jobs.
Yeah,
They haven't had those before. They're lovely. And then they've got the hoodies. Sorry, the hoodies. They've got
gilets.
caps. They've got all sorts of things.
Loton things.
Caps. Got
Loton
key
things.
rings.
Key rings.
No, they can do a lot better. They've got a lot of stuff there. Oh, t-shirts, shirts, all sorts, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really.
yeah.
Now go and see our regalia shop and get yourself suitably kitted up. The orange hoodies, of course, you could look like one of our marshals, couldn't you?
Well, if you wanted to, you can in fact do better than that. You know,
In fact,
you can join the
look,
orange
there's
army.
our
There's the Morgan.
chief marshal. There's Simon Fido here.
Oh,
He's
well,
like
that's-
marshalling royalty. He is. Don't upset Simon, obviously.
I think you already have, Chris.
Roger Still, there he is, our Roger. There's our Roger. Roger Still, that's it.
Is he
Marshalling.
still
He's been
called
doing this a
Roger?
long time. Simon's waving the flag, yeah, just the job. And if you fancy becoming a marshal, well, great. Join the boys, girls, men
The Orange
and women.
Army?
The Orange Army. Get to
yeah.
watch motor racing right up close.
Yeah.
They even chuck your lunch in here, get free entry.
It's all right, isn't
Get
it?
your lunch,
And
cups
see the
of tea,
racing.
cups of tea,
Yeah,
and all that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Get to see it at close hands. And of course, they do an immaculate job when things happen. They obviously have to deal with that. We've got our medical crews standing by at all times there.
We do have.
In the truck, they're ready to race off. Anything happens, obviously, they're straight there. And all our marshals are all connected with radios. so each post can hear the others.
Yeah.
So anything happens at our post here, the marshals up ahead will hear straight away.
Brilliantly done.
And can wave their flags appropriately.
It looks to me, Chris, like we've got a car on the starting line again. We're back into racing with Stuart Bickley's Force TA. Off he goes, 2:25 through the first speed trap. Not bad. Round the keepers. Back on the track. Lovely looking car, the Force. They've really led the field in single-seater race cars. They look great and they move great. Here he comes through Triangle now. Look at that. Hugging tight on the left-hand corner. And up he goes. Keepers. Round that big S-bend into Cedars Straight. There he goes, just as he leaves the view, he's in Cedars, and that's a fast bit of road, isn't it, Chris?
Stuart Bickley is a very quick driver. This Force, it's one of many, several entrance lights, so the Empire obviously, the Forces as well, and Stuart, it was super quick in this car last year. He's just done a 47.99. Wow, that's quick. Now Tom Weaver will be up shortly, but we got Lizzie Weaver coming down to us now. She's in the family Formula Ford.
This is Van Diemen, isn't it?
Yes, so this is a little 1600cc Formula Ford. Lizzie, this is her first go in the single seaters this year. She had a Citroen Saxo before.
Yeah.
And so I said to her this morning, I said, you fancy driving the family Empire, which Tom will be driving up shortly. And of course Richard had the live stream camera on, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
So they'll probably keep their camera on. With a bit of luck, we'll get to see Tom, who's extremely quick. And as we're getting a look at Carol Nichols in her Nike, which was built by her father all those years ago. So she drives the car in homage.
In homage
to her father.
Well, that's good. It's nice to keep it in the family. There we go. Lizzie Weaver over the line in her Van Diemen, 68.50. Carol Nichols going through the Cedar Straight right now as we speak. She's on the 51 seconds through this, not as fast as she's been, and we're following up with Les Buck in his Pringat Mistral. Carol Nichols going to the finishing line now, and she'll be crossing it any second, which will give her a time of 72.87. 72.87 puts her fourth in this class. Les Buck, what are you going to do for us, Les?
Well, Les Buck's still on the run, but we've got Caroline Ryder coming now. This is Matt Ryder's mother.
Another Van Diemen.
Very quick too. She's a motor racing instructor as well. So Les goes through the finish in a 63.27, which takes him into the lead in that class. But Caroline Ryder will have something to say about that. She's in purple sectors as we speak. She's absolutely flying.
She's pushing it.
I tell you what, she's just braking hard into fallow now. Takes it round, takes it going up towards Museum. That blind right-hand corner gets round Museum beautifully, very nice and too. Puts all the power she's got down towards the finish. She's got to beat a 63.27, and she does 61.29 as John Stockley in the Force TA goes round Triangle.
And into keepers goes John Stockley. He really is moving at the moment in the yellow zones. 33 through keepers. And off he goes up to the Cedar Straight. We'll see how he gets on there any moment now, but we're waiting to see Tom Morgan's Empire Evo come towards the Triangle commentary box. John Stockley still running, top of the track, going through Museum. Round he goes, that blind nasty bend there, and he's away. John Stockley clearing the line at 58.67. Tom Morgan is now on the track. Chris.
Tom Morgan has just gone by us here at Triangle. So Tom, Tom is the son of the Morgan partnership, and Tom, very rapid young driver. Look, now we're on the live stream. Tom Weaver is on the live stream with the camera on board. This Ludlow hotshot driver, very quick young driver indeed. And my goodness me, when you look on the live stream, he is really motoring as he's coming here into Triangle now. So he's braking hard into Triangle. He gets it round. We're a couple of seconds behind on the live stream. He's heading up towards keepers, and I tell you what, we've never had this footage before. It is absolutely bang on the money. We're getting such a brilliant view. He's on the fastest part of the hill now on the Cedar Straight, over the speed trap, through the speed trap there at 86 miles an hour. He's already heading up now and gone round Oh, a bit of a side coming out of the museum now. He's up towards the finish, and he finishes in a time of 48.71, second in the class to Stuart Bickley.
And Alan Warburton following on in his Gould. He's just gone through keepers, and the live stream now has changed back to the track and picking up with Alan Warburton's Gould. There he goes.
He's in the 1600 class, of course, so he's in a different class,
yes,
and I think he's not many in that class, but nevertheless it's a quicker car. He does a 49.83, so Stuart Bickley was quicker in his little 1100. That's a great time, wasn't it?
That's incredible, yeah. This is Ben Fisher's Swallow.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
This is Darren Gumbly. Darren Gumbly's just gone round Triangle in his 1600 force.
That's absolutely right, yes.
Yeah, fabulous thing. And he will be followed by Ben Fisher in the Swallow, who's only just left the line. But Darren Gumbly, hot shot local driver, very quick indeed. Purple sectors in that class. At the moment, he's leading. He's going to go through to the finish any time now. Going round Museum, blasts up towards the finish. Finishes in a time of 49.24, takes him ahead of Alan Warburton. And Ben Fisher in the Swallow, he's already on his way now.
Yes, he is. He's just going through that big S-bend, as we know. It's taking him into the Cedar Straight. This is where they put their foot down and chop the Cedar Straight. There's a very, very nasty left-hander where we sometimes lose some drivers, but not today. The conditions have been perfect. Round he goes there, on his way up to Museum. That blind right-hander, he's round that very nicely indeed. Now it's just a sprint to the line, the fastest you can. There he goes, 60 seconds, 0.14. Here comes Terry Davis in his force, Chris.
Terry Davis, yes, so the husband of Trish Davis. He builds the engines for these cars at TKD. Terry Davis engines. These are the ones that are built out of two motorbike engines. Little V8, very fast revving, quick V8, and Terry drives it extremely well. This car was brand new to them last year, so this is like a brand new force, and you can see it's got all the right bells and whistles on it. Got a fantastic engine, but he will be followed, and we're getting a look at him on the live stream, by Jonathan Farley, last year's Midland Hillclimb champion. Here he comes now in the fabulous Predator, built by Graham White Jr. That is a beautifully constructed motor car. Guns a Terry Davis V8 in the back of it. It did have an Arrows Formula 1 engine, a V10 engine in it one time when Graham had the car. But Jonathan bought this car as a tub, and then he had a March engine he put in the back, and then he changed it to this one, and he's won the HillClimb Championship Midland twice. He's in purple sectors.
On this one.
Look at this, folks. Heading towards the finish. He finishes 48.09.
48.09 puts Jonathan Farley in the top of this class, which is the racing class over 69cc to 2000cc with normally aspirated engines. John Chalmers on the track in his route, and he's coming down Triangle, holding the middle of the road into the left-hand side of the corner. He turns on that right-hand bend beautifully into the middle of the track again. There he goes, hung in the rumble strips as he makes his way up onto Cedars through that S-bend and onto the straight.
John Chalmers has been racing this car for many years. It is very nice. It runs a motorbike engine, a Hayabusa, but it does have a turbocharger on it. It's got about 400 horsepower, very rapid indeed. As we're going to get a look, as he heads up towards the finish, we're going to look at Alex Coles in the Force TA. Now this car is a supercharged Hayabusa 1300. Alex has been super quick last year. He finished 4th on one of the British Hill Climb rounds. He's a very rapid young driver. He's an electrician from Plymouth. He'll be here with his father Neil, and he's already showing purple sectors. He's in the class of the 1600 racing cars up to 2 litres forced induction engine, and this one's supercharged. He's going to head up now. He's into Museum now. He's looking very good to head this class up today very well. Here he goes over the finish in a time of 47.44.
Takes him straight to the top of that group. 47.44 is one of the faster times of the day. Here we go with Paul Crute as well with his OMS. Round he goes into does.
Tucker.
Oh, I'm ahead of myself again, playing the tennis.
Yes.
It's Ian Tucker. He's singing for his supper. Round he goes into keepers. Thank you, Chris, for
That's fine.
pointing that out.
Listen, I know you've had some time out, so obviously we get to see these cars every week. So, yeah, Ian Tucker comes from Cornwall, right? There's a good contingent of Cornish crowd here today, Paul Crute included, and Neil Coles actually is now moved to Cornwall. But here does come Paul Crute, this lovely Jaguar V6 engine out of a road car actually, but it's in the Jackie Stewart racing colours of old when they were in Formula 1 and the Jagworks colours. So Paul Crute sounds terrific. Great to see him on the hill. First time I've seen him this year. We've got a red flag here.
Red flag going.
Okay, so we may have had an instant further. Oh, there you go. Right, so we got red flag, which means Paul Crute is cruising to the finish, so he's still in action. Simon Andrews is going to go back into the paddock. So maybe something happened further back there that they red flagged him for. I don't know. We will find out in due course.
We will indeed.
Indeed. So well, that's so far. So Alex Coles, well, he's going to have a great season. I'm telling you now, because what he did. He shared. Neil had an OMS which they sold.
Oh yeah.
And then Kelvin Broad, Force TA with a 1300 supercharged engine. Alex started driving that with Kelvin.
Right.
And he has gone very, very quickly indeed. Of course, the speed of youth as well. And talent, serious talent. Serious talent
as well.
Yeah, and he's been absolutely mixing it with the big boys.
Well, that's fantastic news, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't that great?
Right. Yeah. And they're all here for us in Shropshire today at this beautiful Loton Park Deer Park. A lovely place to be on a fine spring day. Leaves all appearing now on the trees. The whole course is looking very, very nice and ready for a busy season.
Now, I switched my phone off because I didn't want, obviously, Donald Trump ringing me, did I? So
nobody wants Donald Trump to ring him.
We won't talk about that one.
No, we won't.
No, we're not allowed to talk about politics, which we won't.
Which we won't. No,
he's a very beautiful fella. Very beautiful fella. And,
very beautiful. Very
but anyway, so I'm just trying to work out. We must be nearly through the card for the first batch this afternoon. First runs this afternoon.
Right.
Well, we're on single seaters. We haven't had those.
We need the motorbikes as well, though.
Yeah, we've got some motorbikes, haven't we? Maybe some Honda, some Morgan Aeros as well.
Yes.
We'll be getting Alex Burnham back in the box shortly.
I imagine so.
I see him over there drinking a cup of tea down at Trimble's. Good afternoon to you, Alex.
Yes, we hope
he's probably catching up on his socials. Do you reckon? He's on his socials.
Very, very, very.
Do you know
popular
he's a great photographer, Alex? I only found this out recently.
No, I didn't know
he's into film photography, and when he came to Shelsley Walsh, he shared commentary with me at Shelsley Walsh last week, and he brought this Practice 6, they call it. It's a medium format film camera.
All right.
And it was a rather beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And you just look through the top of it, because it's one of those top viewers.
Bock Brownlee.
You look down and you twiddle the lens at the front to get the focus. And he develops his own film as well.
Cool,
What a clever chap.
That's taking it very seriously.
Proper old school, that.
Hello, who we got coming off the track at the top here, Chris?
We have a looks like it could be Ian Tucker's OMS, I think.
Yeah, I think so, but it's very hard to see with these leaves in front of
that
it.
does look like Ian Tucker's OMS.
We're just checking the live stream here, ladies and gentlemen. We have a car at the top that had come to a stop. And seems to
they're showing a replay of it now.
This is what
Ian
happened.
Tucker comes out of museum, heading up towards the finish.
It must have happened after he finished the race.
Oh, look at that!
Yeah.
What's going on there? He actually happened after the finish.
That was
and he ended up in the deer park there somewhere.
Steering problem, it looked
well,
like.
I don't know what's happened there.
Yeah.
Maybe, as you say, he could have just touched the grass and it took him off. but I think he's out of the car.
Yeah, it looks like
our
it.
medical crew are up there. The big Tonka toys, the big lorries on there. They're going to recover it on the lorry.
They're going to carry it down.
Oh, okay. So he gets a free lift back down, does he?
Well, that'll save a bit of
Yeah,
petrol.
but I don't suppose he's too chuffed about.
No, I imagine he would like
ending
not to.
up on the lorry.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to be on the lorry.
Nobody
do they?
wants to be on the lorry.
Nobody wants to be on the lorry. It's like back in the day. It was like nobody likes the Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, I didn't expect the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Bring the comfy chair. No, not the comfy chair. Oh dear, you've got me on Monty Python mode now. Somebody's going to have to give me a smack round the head and stop me.
We're old. We'll be coming out with the parrot sketch
Your
next,
own
won't we?
Father Robinson, the young one said, and your hair is incessantly white.
Goodness me.
And yet you continue to stand on your head. Do you think at your age it is right? That was Lewis Carroll.
Was it Lewis Carroll? Because you are the poet laureate from Shrewsbury, aren't you?
Indeed I am.
Actually, I think I called it Shrewsbury then. You called it Shrewsbury.
Well,
didn't you?
yes.
Is it Shrewsbury or Shrewsbury?
You know what? The medieval. This is. I've always called it Shrewsbury. Hardly put the R in, and that's what most locals would say, Shrewsbury. But Scrobsburg was the original name of the town. Now that's got an O in it. And I saw a medieval map from about 1300, and it was spelt Shrewsbury with an O.
Oh.
So it's become a snob thing now. If one was to say Shrewsbury...
If one was to say Shrewsbury...
You're trying to be posh. If you say Shrewsbury, you're trying to be normal. So... Shrewsbury used to have an O in it. It's hard to say. Yeah, Shrewsbury.
So is one going to say Shrewsbury?
I once said,
or Shrewsbury.
If they start calling Dewsbury Dewsbury, I'll go Shrewsbury. But until that time, I'm going to stick with my Shrewsbury.
Wow.
There you go. That's sorted.
Well, I'm going to go Shrewsbury.
Oh, you would do, wouldn't you? Yes,
Shrewsbury.
Just for a moment's contention.
Well, you know me. We like a bit of contention,
we
don't we?
like a bit of contention, mate. Yeah. Bring it on.
Bring it on. Exactly right. Yeah.
You know what? What a place to be on a Saturday afternoon, isn't it? We've got some great racing going on in front of us. We've got a lovely commentary box here, sat here full of wires and computers.
Well, yes.
All sorts of things.
You're
really.
sat there like the walking brain. You know, you're sort of all wired up, you know. Like in Doctor Who, they used to have these things like a giant brain, didn't they, with all these wires and everything. Is that us? Is that us? It wouldn't be me, really.
Well, we can't leave unless we unplug ourselves, so yes, it probably is
Well,
us.
talking of unplugging, you might be unplugging shortly because Alex is coming to see us.
Is he making his way across?
Yes.
Well, I'll
Do you want to go and have a cup of tea?
I'll go and have a cuppa. I'll leave you guys
to it. And I'll come and have a cuppa in a bit. So Alex is returning.
I shall see you all later on.
Thank you very much. That was a grand job.
Thank you.
And we will talk to you later.
No, it's okay. That's fine. I'm just about ready for a cup of tea.
Yeah, we're back in action, folks. Sophia's just left the box. I'm back joined with Alex Burnham.
Hello, folks. Wasn't that brilliant run through that Chris and Sophia have taken us through all sorts.
Well, it's all been happening here, actually. We've talked
three
our
wheels
usual
on
rubbish.
three wheels on my wagon, and
Yeah, I know. That's the trouble, you see, when us two get in there, because we've got long memories and old. You know, you remember stuff, and that was our funny stuff from back in the day. And of course, modern stuff's slightly different, but we don't get those sort of old series. In fact, I see Alex he's got live chat on his phone.
I've got the live chat. I've been watching on YouTube on HillClimb.TV, and once again, people from all over the world, which is amazing. There was about 1,000 odd people watching it.
I had no idea, because of course we weren't getting any of this.
No, that's
here.
it. They don't always put the comments up. So apologies to anyone who was sending questions in, because we've not been able to answer them because we didn't see them.
No.
But we'll try in the future.
We will. Well, possibly it might change. But as you say, you being a modern child of the modern era, you've got it on your phone here.
Yeah.
And you've got all these comments are loads, isn't there?
There's lots of comments. People having a nice chat. So
is anyone saying we're rubbish?
Probably, but I won't tell you those.
Don't tell me about those.
No, it's all very good. All very good.
Well,
Everybody loves you,
so
Chris.
far, well, as long as they don't think we're too rubbish. But look, the big red Tonka toy lorry is returning back now. It's up the top there.
Yeah, it was a strange little incident. That it looked like he clipped the grass bank.
He'd gone over the finish,
and then after the finish line, clipped the bank, and I don't know what happened then. The cameras don't really go that far.
Did he have a steering issue or something, or? It was an unusual one. In fact, some of the drivers at the top of the hill here are just walking back to see. I assume he's okay. They're having a look. Oh, in fact, they're going back to the cars, are they? To come back down, perhaps. I see there's Alan Warburton up the top there. But we have got a car on there. We have Graham Wynne OBE on the line in this fabulous Gould GR59. This is the cream of the crop car. It's Sean Gould car, isn't it?
Yeah, I was watching out on the side of the track for some of those quick runs that we had just before this little break, and they were looking good, weren't they?
Well, I tell you what, yes, we've only got a few of the hill climb favourites here today, and Will Hall is here today. Great to see Will back in action. He's been out of action. He had some medical issues to deal with, quite nasty stuff, but he's getting stronger again. But Graham Wynne, OBE, he's also chairman of the Wynne Foundation, which he runs with his wife Jenny. But anyway, take us into this one.
Yeah, so really quick car, and Graham's a quick old driver. He's well versed here at Loton Park as well. He knows his way around, so nice and tidy down through the bottom section. And now he's going up onto the Cedar Straight. We'll get 102 miles an hour through that speed trap. Heavy braking then as he rounds the top end, climbs up towards Museum. This is the corner that catches lots of them out. No problem for Graham as he then powers across the line. It's going to be an all-right run, 50. Ooh, let's see, it's still going, not sure.
Well, he's still going, but Will Hall has gone by us. Will Hall is purple sector, so Graham haven't got a finishing time for him yet. But Will Hall has come back to it after his operation, and he is absolutely smoking it in the Gould. I tell you what, he was coming second and third in runoffs last year, wasn't he?
That's one of the nicest cars on the circuit at the moment, and Will was doing so well last year. You could tell by the number 3 on his car how well he did, and the timing's not stopping, but that was about a 46, 47, I think.
Yeah, so I think we have an issue with the timing at the moment. So we've got Simon Andrews in the OMS 28. Again, this is a practice day, but the Midland runners will be all practice today, so it doesn't really matter so much for these Midland runners so much.
No.
But Simon Andrews anyway, so Will Hall's still picking away on the time.
That's two runs for him. But, yeah, Simon Andrews, this OMS, another nice machine, and Simon, I think, can turn a good pace, can't he? He's
finished at about a 51 there. He's finished about 51. So Simon is sharing that car with Bernie Cavill. It does actually run a V8 in the back of that one. I think it's about 2.8 V8. So I think it's I don't think it's a Terry Davis one. I think it's a different unit. Anyway.
Yeah,
a motorbike derived V8.
Oh, okay, but
I think it's
not one of the Davies ones.
No, I think it's an RML.
Yeah. Yes, now you say that, RML engines, I think you're right.
Isn't it?
Yes,
yeah. Okay, now I'm hearing big stuff starting in the paddock there. I'm hearing fast revving V8. Now, I'm expecting to see, in fact, I am going to see very shortly right now on the line, I've got Matthew Ryder. Matthew Ryder is the current British Hill Climb Championship, won it last year for the first time, sharing the car with Sean Gould, the builder of these magnificent Gould cars. Matthew Ryder, you talk to him in the paddock, he's gentle, he's lovely, he's a young driver, but put him in this car and he turns into a hill climb monster, doesn't he?
He's absolutely, he's one of those that he sort of exploded last year, but he's been doing well before that. But last year he just had such a good run of it, and well, he was deserved champion last year, and I think he'll probably do well again this year, won't he?
It's a tyres issue this year because there's a big issue with tyres and supply, but it's a bit of an unknown quantity. But look, have a look at Matthew Ryder. Here he comes now, coming into our view, coming down into Triangle. This Gould has got about 680 brake horsepower. Through the rear-wheel drive, he drives so smoothly you think he's not going quick. He is absolutely flying.
Yeah, so he's got a good speed, 113 through the trap at the top of the hill, which is a top end of what we've been getting over today. We'll try and keep an eye and see whether the clock grabs him or whether it's not gonna. There we go, 46.31. So a reasonable time there. That'll do all right, won't it, for a practice run?
It's interesting. I think we had Stuart Beckley in about the 48s this morning, didn't we?
Yeah, Stuart. It's another one that is really, really quick.
But
really
Stuart's only got a 1 litre car.
Yeah, he always punches well above his class. The Stuart. I always enjoy seeing him race because he's exciting to watch. Really throws the car around.
Now here's something a bit different. He's already gone by us, but that was Andy Tippett in the lovely Brabham BT30.
Yeah.
And he'll be followed by Robin Johnson and the little Tigger. Then we're in a historic category here, so we've got racing cars manufactured before 1971.
Yeah. There was a question online that was directed at you specifically.
Was it?
Yeah, it was asking who was the last person, I think it was a BRM, who was the last person to hill climb a BRM? I can't find the comment now. Any ideas?
Do you know what? That's a very, very good question because BRMs were
last person to hill climb a BRM F1 car. So,
well, you'd be talking about 70s and 80s perhaps. You see, back in the day, there were a lot of people running ex-F1 cars because they were cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Now, then we entered the era of the pill beams and the Goulds, and they were specifically built for hill climbs. So those ex-F1 cars were a good shout, and they were cheap to buy. They're not cheap anymore, of course, but at that time they were cheap.
You did have a handful that did it in the 90s. I'm wondering whether there was a like one of the last BRMs, whether somebody hill climbed one of those.
Possible, yeah.
Don't know.
One would have to check that one out.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to give an answer.
No, it's a good question.
It's a very good question, and thank you for that one.
On the opposite end of the speed scale, we have this lovely little Morgan three-wheeler. I was hearing what you and Sophia were saying, how many have we got left? I think they missed out an entire practice run.
I think
I thought they'd all gone home and then they came back. So maybe there's only a handful of them there and they weren't sure whether they were going to run it.
Well, I did wonder because there was initially quite a few entered, and as I say, there's such an unusual thing. And of course, don't forget, these are really old cars.
Oh, some of these are 100 years plus. I don't know about the ones that are here today, but we've had ones on the hill in the past that are 100 years old. 1920s machines. So, amazing that they're still going.
So Steve Lister, that was then it's saying, well, hang on, this is a bit confusing because that was a Morgan that went. Well, it was the three-wheeler, but the one we're seeing at the top of the hill, that's Steve Lister and Ruth Ross. But then it's saying.
No, it's got.
There we go.
Yeah,
so that was it. I think that was it.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. But it's saying Daniel Hodgson, Bronte Pearson. I can't see a person in there.
No. Often they run with passengers.
Yes.
But you can choose, I think, to run with weight ballast instead.
A bag of sand.
Basically. So maybe some of them have people. Some of them might have just.
Let's
ballast.
see if we've got anyone hidden in there. No, I can't see anyone hiding
under
in there.
the tonneau, maybe. I don't know.
Well, that wouldn't be a very nice place to sit underneath there, would it?
I've been told in the past that they favour small people or even children because they can get them to lie down in the footwell to get the weight as low as possible into the...
No job for us then.
No, I think we'd be rubbish. We'd definitely be ballast.
We'd be all right, Yes, we'd need a big V8 or something.
That's it.
We? Yeah.
So, and it might be, I was talking to somebody this morning who I can't now remember who it was, but somebody was saying that when they run on the motorbike rule book, they have to run with a passenger, and when they run as a car, they don't, or possibly vice versa. So, yeah, Morgans are a mystery to us all, I'm afraid.
Well, there was Tom Cowley in the Super Aero, lovely thing actually, making very good progress up the hill, one of the very quickest of the ones we got here. Catherine Quinn is just about to finish, I think. Or yes, she did finish in a 92.30. Tom Cowley is heading up towards Museum as we get a look at Bill Tour and Maggie Tour. So that's a 2-up job, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard to see them in there, isn't it?
They do tuck down. That's the ideal. And yeah, all of these, mostly they run V-twin bike engines. So in the old days, it was the old Jap engine.
Yeah.
I think the modern ones use a Harley-based block, but then it's the engines.
Do they still make? They still make them.
A bit fell off them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think probably it did because the red flag system in way. Oh, bit of a smoky. Well, Alex, sorry.
Yeah, I think something fell off. We'll watch for the HillClimb.TV replay.
Well, I hope the lady didn't fall out the car.
Oh, dear, it could have been the passenger.
We don't want that, do we?
No, that wouldn't be fun. Although they're not going fast. You could probably get out if...
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. But listen, I remember coming off my bike at about 20-odd mile an hour when I was a lad and getting very smashed up.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it doesn't take a lot, does it?
It wasn't good. It didn't end well, I can tell you now.
I have a friend who used to be a motorbike journalist. And he told me a story of seeing a motorbike and sidecar at the Isle of Man TT. About halfway around the lap, it came to a very slow corner, and as it got into the slow corner, we'll come back to that. Watch that front corner.
Oh yeah.
And
something
falls off.
It did a little bit of something or other. Yeah.
Let's see if we can see. It comes from the top of the engine, I would say.
Oh my goodness! Do you reckon?
Oh, is it the timing? It's the timing beam.
Oh, it is. Look, it's there at the front. It's all broken, isn't it?
Yeah. So the timing, they've got the little black marker that breaks the timing beam.
Well spotted.
That's fallen off, and well.
Oh yes. So that's got to be recovered, but no major damage. But unfortunately, just a bit of a. He can't go, of course, another run without the timing.
No, he'll have to find another one.
He was having a go, wasn't he?
Yes.
He was having a go. So I tell you what, now we've got on the line, if you're watching on the live screen, which you can go up behind us where the bar is into the building next door. We've got a live screen there so you can enjoy watching it on there, the same as we're watching it on here. We're watching it out of our commentary box, but we've also got a screen which shows us up the hill, which is fantastic. HillClimb.TV, like and subscribe. Rich Danby's HillClimb.TV. Watch it on YouTube, and of course what you're seeing here this afternoon will be repeated, of course, tomorrow, but when we've got the Midland runners going for it full tilt, won't we?
That's right. So more timed runs tomorrow than today. We've only got a few that are on competition today. Most of it is practice, but yeah, great to see the practice runs as well. And then tomorrow, yes, we get the actual competition runs for the Midland Hillclimb. So that will be all of the large engined single-seat race cars. They will be really pushing it. And today, actually, the conditions have just improved on the track. So we could, with a bit of sun tomorrow, could see some quick times. Definitely worth coming back for and tuning in for, I think. So that will be an exciting thing to look forward to as we continue to watch these Morgan three-wheelers. This one is Alistair Rue and Jenny Baker, Jenny being the passenger, and it's really been pushing around some of these corners, and Alistair making a good run of it. So the times are never that quick, although occasionally we get a well-sorted Morgan that does have a good run up the hill. But they're sort of in their own class, so they're not going to affect the fastest run of the day board, but they can still be competitive amongst themselves. Another benefit of HillClimb.TV is you get a running tally of the times. So you can see at the moment the time to beat is a 67.92 in the Morgan three-wheeler championship. So that was actually quite a good run, 67.92. There are plenty of much newer and more expensive cars that struggle to get down to that pace. So yeah, good run. Tony Pearson here with Charlene Pearson as passenger by the look of things, as this nice yellow safari machine comes down and joins us in Triangle. I think that will be Colin Bromley and Lucy Hawker in that one, and then behind them we'll have Anthony Quinn. Now, I've spoken to Anthony before. The Quinn family seem to have several Morgan three-wheelers which they compete, and some of them are quicker than others, and Anthony normally turns out to be one of the faster runners in the category. Hear the thump of that big V-twin engine there, great fun. As on screen we see Morgan 100 of Colin Bromley with Lucy Hawker alongside, heading up now towards the finish line. This will be a shade over 80-second run, which won't trouble the leaders, but we'll keep an eye. Anthony Quinn, he's lighting up the board with purple sectors, meaning he's going pretty quick, and managed 56 miles an hour at the top of the straight, which it doesn't, it's on screen, it's hard to tell, but the climb here is more than you would expect, so it's quite a lot of gradient there. So Anthony Quinn now coming across the line, he finishes with an 80.02, which is very good going for his class. You notice various different classes again for Morgan, similar to the cars and the bikes. They're separated by engine sizes and various different categories, so you're not always competing against who you think you are when you watch these. Des shot in there 72.77, and I think that's probably the last of the Morgans as we now move into the motorbikes. I think we've got a handful of shared bikes that go up before the batch will come down, and we'll get the full pack of motorcycles after a short break for the return. Bit of a wobble under heavy braking at the top of the hill there for Mike Tilley on his Honda, but he's kept going nice, and those little wobbles don't really bother them. It's just adjusting as they pull a wheelie as he crosses over towards the finish line. So good run there, 62.5 through for Mike, which is yeah, it's actually quite a good time for the under 500 category of bikes. One was it's not come up on my screen, but 63 was the previous best time, so 62 for Mike Tilley will put him top of the under 500cc category. So good run for him, and these might be competition runs now actually, because I think the bike meeting is a double header, and so they've got competition today and tomorrow. So yes, I think we might well be into timed competition runs. So good run there for Mike to put a 62 on the board as the target time for all others. Patrick Evans doesn't quite make it with his 68.84. Adam Bentley will be next one up. He will be onto Cedar Straight, and you can see on the screen how unstraight that straight is. Actually, it looks worse on the screen than I think it is in real life even, but there they go through the speed trap, 100 kilometers an hour, 62 miles an hour, as Adam Bentley in a very smart looking machine, but it's not been the quickest today, this Honda, but maybe he's got more in reserve than we know. But he's rounding Museum, final corner for Adam Bentley, heading up towards the finish line. He's going to be in the late 70s, 78, 78. Very neat of him. As Rob Mercer is hot on his tails. Rob's already up, coming towards Museum, and hard round there. We switch to watching the finish line, and Rob Mercer, he'll go across the line with a 64.69, so that puts him into second in the under 500cc category. Guy Ursel, however, he's going quick. Purple sectors all on. He's on a Husqvarna, and he is already pushing hard. 80 miles an hour in that top speed trap, climbing hard up towards Museum. He puts his foot down a little bit, just leans the bike over. Really good run here for Guy. I think he's going to just pip it. He goes 161.35, so top of the under 500cc motorbike category. Can anyone catch that, I wonder? Doug Parnell is next through. He's down at Triangle with me. He's on his Yamaha ZRF, heading up now round onto the Cedar Straight. Through Keepers he's gone, and onto the straight. Got him heading up towards the top of the hill, as Cameron Williams is already down here at Triangle on his Aprilia. We'll switch to him in a moment, I'm sure, as Doug Parnell brakes at the top of the straight, and he's going round the climb up to Museum there. He's done a good time. It's better than his previous efforts, but it's not going to be enough to take the top of the board. 71.06 is a good run for Doug. However, the guy is still at the top of this pile. Cameron Williams is doing very well himself, though. His first section was very quick. However, he's not been able to maintain that top pace, so he's going to just fall short. It's going to be a 63.85. That puts him into third for the motorcycle category. Not bad run for Cameron there. Rich Peaty, we know Rich is quick, and he is heading on up now to the top of the straight already. We'll see what his time is looking like. Again, it's green sectors, which means it's the best he's done this weekend. However, that means he's probably not going to be quick enough. It's going to be just shy, 62.78. That puts him into third, just behind Guy Ursel and Mike Tilley. So those top few, they're all pretty close, only a couple of seconds in it, with only 3 runners left. Stephen Butler is on it as he piles his way up the hill. He's doing a good turn of speed at the top of the hill in the speed trap, but will it be enough? He's only managed green sectors, so it's going to improve on his earlier runs, but will it be close enough to take a good top 5? No, just short. He goes 6th with 65.72. So Mick Lovelock is next, and he is through Triangle, through Keepers and onto the Cedar Straight. We'll see how he's doing. It's not a bad run, but I fear he's already down on time. He needed to be a bit quicker through that sort of middle section to maintain pace with the top guy. So Mick Lovelock's not going to be there. His time's going to be down in the 70s somewhere, I suspect. And we then have Keith Haynes behind, who I think will be the final in the under 500 cc's. So Mick Lovelock 74.86. Let's see where Keith Haynes can go. He's doing a decent run. Green sectors for him. He needs to pull something special though out of the bag to make it up into that top 5. I fear he's not quite going to be there. He's not doing badly though. 53.46 at Museum. Round that final corner. Can he just get a good cross of the line? And it's going to be 62.39. He goes second. He really did well down in the second part of that run. So well done to Keith Haynes. That's the under 500 cc's all run through. So we're into overs. Paul Jarrett first up. Now his runs are showing up as purple because it's the first timed run here. And I suspect as we go, his time will probably not stay as the top, but we'll see. Paul Jarrett, very capable, and Mark Stafford of course already put a time in for a shared bike, 59.25 for Paul Jarrett, so that's a good time indeed, under that 1 minute mark already, so a good marker for everyone else to aim for, as Marcus Bisson is next through with that KTM SMR, and we'll see what sort of times he's going to get to. He's not going to make the 59, but it'll be a low 60, and good run, 61.25, so second for Marcus.
Well, I'm back, Alex. How are you?
Hello,
right.
Chris.
I see you've still got all your comments and everything. So
yes,
you can keep an eye on that.
Yeah, I've been watching the very tight motorcycle timings. Yep. And so that's been a good run, and we'll see. We've got a few on the hill at the moment. Josh Williams is making good progress, as is Matthew Mogridge. Now I know Matthew to be a quick rider, so we'll keep an eye on his times as he goes through the run.
Yes, indeed. The bikes, great to see them back, actually. And of course, I love the sidecars and the trikes as well. They're always highly entertaining.
Yeah, we've got the sidecars coming up very shortly, and that will be great fun to watch. I always watch the passenger, who's climbing all over to shift their weight and that sort of thing. That's always the entertaining part for me.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. So we don't often get to see the bikes, but I think Loton's great because actually it's a fabulous hill. Look, we don't have great big runoff areas, do we? Gravel and all that stuff. You know, we've got grass, we've got deers running around the place loose. They're not herded up, are they? You know? No,
that's right. We have, luckily, nothing so far, but in the past we have had to stop running for a herd of deer to cross over the track or similar. So hopefully we'll not suffer with that today.
Now we have Bob Tunnerdine there in his Yamaha XS. He's making steady progress up the hill. He's on his way up towards Keepers. I guess some of these, they might be new to the hill, actually. I suspect they could be.
I think there's always, you've got to allow people who are new to the hill or have a new bike, and so they're still learning how to do it. And then you've got the other end of the field, which are the people who really know what they're doing, and they tend to be very quick. And Dave Norris is one of those. He's done this before, and he's a pretty quick rider himself.
Now these KTMs, they are very, very rapid, aren't they? They're big single cylinder bikes, aren't they? The KTMs.
I don't know on these ones because they're over 500cc. Is that still single cylinder?
Could well be.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, let's have a look. What can we tell? Can't quite tell, can we? Really? Maybe. Well, we'll have to work with Simon and Jane Foster, the experts, that will tell us all about that.
Exactly. Yes.
They'll be up later on in their fantastic sidecar. We're just having a quick look here at Stuart Mills, has just gone by us in the Aprilia Tuono. That's an Italian-made bike, the Aprilia. And, well, actually, the Aprilia, they've won a lot of world championships and stuff, haven't they?
Yes, yeah, they're good bikes in all sorts of different categories. And, Stuart Mills is pretty quick on his bike. It's funny, they don't always favour that style of bike here, the more sports bike. It's often almost a trials bike, don't they?
Well, I think the KTMs are often like that, and looking at that one there, I think that one there, that's Mark Williams in the Honda VTR, and I know Dave Peat, he's in the KTM, which will be following. Very rapid indeed, yes. The KTM.
Oh yeah, yes, Dave Peat is definitely the one to watch, really. He's one of the really quick riders. I remember watching these guys a few years ago in the wet, and they were absolutely fearless, sliding their bikes through the corners and all sorts. So exciting stuff.
Now Dave Peat has left the line in his first 64 feet. He was very rapid. He's in purple sectors already, which meant he made a very fast exit. The first 64 feet basically is that anything under 2 seconds is absolutely ballistic, isn't it? Really?
That's right, yes.
I don't know if we've got a time for him there. Yeah, we have 1.95 off the line. Here comes Dave Peat. My goodness me. He's actually still in yellow sectors, which means he's not actually quite the quickest yet. But maybe as he goes up the hill, he might improve a little bit more. But John Warren in the big trike, the Suzuki trike, that is a fine looking thing. And I think John is the rider with one arm, I think, isn't he?
Oh yes, possibly. Is it?
Yeah.
Is it? Yes.
I'm pretty sure he could be. And then of course Simon and Jane Foster are getting ready, so Dave Peat heads up towards the finish as we get a look at John Warren and Mark Stafford on the trike. Look at this, what a fine looking machine that is, isn't it? Yeah, one arm he's riding that with. I think that's remarkable, isn't it?
Yes, very impressive, and they do pretty well. The technical difference between a trike and a sidecar is that both rear wheels are driven on a trike, whereas a sidecar is just a single one is driven, so like a motorcycle.
So Simon and Jane, who we'll be getting a look at now, they'll be coming down towards us any second now. John Warren is heading up towards he's at Fallow at the moment, isn't he? Here comes Simon and Jane Foster. I think they're 5 times champions. You hear that screaming Honda engine, that CBR engine. Look at the colours of that bike. They're in matching helmets. Everything's right about it. They are such a lovely couple, aren't they?
Oh, it's and they're great fun to watch. You see Jane sort of climbing all over the back and leaning out, and such a dramatic and dynamic sort of thing to watch. So yeah, I always enjoy seeing these things on the hill. You can see Jane leaning well out there, and she'll probably have to clamber over. There we go. Yeah, onto the other side of the bike, getting the weight down onto that wheel to make sure they get plenty of traction as they head towards the line. It's going to be just over the 60-second mark, isn't it? 61.7, so nice run for them.
Wow, fantastic. Well, they're not champions for nothing, are they? They're absolutely brilliant. But they organise this event, don't they, with the bikes, and they come here in their van, and they keep in the van and everything.
That's right, yeah.
Go all over the place, but they're such a lovely couple. Great to see them. Now we've got Mark and James Foster and the Foster BMW. So this is actually a part of the Foster dynasty as well, actually. So I think this is brother of, and this is the original bike that Simon built back in the day.
Right, okay.
So they've recommissioned it back out.
Yes.
So they've got their fancy Honda.
Yeah, and they've got the old
Beamer.
Yeah, I think the BMW engine is possibly a bit heavier and down on power compared to the other machine, but it's still, they make a good go of it.
They're having a go, aren't they? And the whole family is here today, including Dad as well.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. So it's a real family affair, isn't it? The Foster family, they're taking over, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's always good to see the sidecars and trikes and everything on the hill. So we thank them for organising it.
So when you were sort of having a wander, did you see anything in the paddock that took your fancy?
Well, it's a really eclectic mix. You know me, I always like the classics.
Yeah.
And there's lots of nice minis here.
Yeah,
they're all good.
Samson Mini's nice, isn't it?
Yes, that's very
and
good.
And the turbocharged one's an interesting bit of kit, isn't it? It's the Sun. And
I'm quite taken with that little Force sports car.
What, Alan McDonald?
Yes.
Yeah, Alan McDonald, yeah.
That's a very smart little machine, that
History
is.
car, that, you know.
Yeah.
Rob Stevens used to hold hill records with that in a class, and he went up Shelsley in the 25s.
Yeah.
Now that's
super quick.
That's super rapid.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it's got the same engine as when
No, I don't think it has. I don't think it has, but nevertheless, I think he was one of those drivers who was sort of like ballistically quick.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
And Alan McDonald's very quick. He's ex-TT racer.
Yes.
And always been into motorbikes. He's still got a motorbike business now. And so if you want to know anything about motorbikes, have a word with Alan McDonald.
Yeah, well, he knows his stuff then.
He absolutely does know his stuff. But actually, yes, Stephen Hill has just left the line in the Renault Clio. We've got
kicking up a wheel on that trike.
Yeah,
they were certainly trying. Well, that's the reason they have that passenger, is to try and hold those wheels on the ground. So good demonstration there of what the passenger can do for you.
Now it looks like we're starting again with the programme effectively.
Yes, so we'll have a handful of shared cars, won't we? Such as this Renault Clio in the hands of Stephen Hill, and then it'll have to come back down for the other driver to have a go in the proper batch. So these are good little things, aren't they, these Clios? We always have a handful of these on the hill, and they're a brilliant sort of hot hatch for hill climbing, it turns out.
They actually become increasingly popular. They're relatively affordable, that you can buy a Clio, a 172, 182 for a couple of £3,000, depending on the condition. They do fetch a lot more as well, but you can go hill climbing and get one of these. It's out of the box. It's got about 180 brake horsepower. We're going to look here at Martin Walters in the Fiat Abarth SSS, as they call it.
Yes.
SSS or something.
Well, this is the noisiest little car I've seen in a long while. It makes a massive noise, but there's nothing to it. But it's quite a spectacular little thing.
It's quick though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And yes, and he will be followed by Hugh Elliott in the Fiat Abarth 124 Spider. Now he's already on the hill at the moment. He's sharing this with his wife Mary, who'll be having a go later. But here comes Hugh. He was right up in the class earlier. He was second earlier with a 63. As you can see, this very effective car has been driven here from Shrewsbury, where they live, and already going through keepers, heading up towards the Cedar Strait.
Yeah, so great little cars. These are Bath Spiders. They look ace, and they handle pretty well as well. So they've been quite popular. A few have cropped up on the hills. The Elliots have been one of the best supporters of this machine, I think, for a few years now. And it's good to see them out and doing nicely. Let's see where Hugh crosses the line. He'll get a 62.9, so currently second in class for Hugh. So not bad. You could see Mary Elliott's just a couple of seconds behind in fourth currently in the standings for that category. So a nice little inter-family rivalry. And I can't remember, we don't keep tally of these things particularly, but I'm sure Mary's been quicker than Hugh on occasion. It's been they're pretty evenly matched, aren't they?
Yeah, they are actually, yes. And they're both lovely people as well, actually. That Mary was, I remember last year, I think it was, she put Easter eggs up into the
that's
boxes,
right, yeah.
didn't she? Yeah.
Well, I wonder if we'll get that tomorrow.
You never know.
Very
never
good.
Know. We won't push that one though.
No.
But they're always
Sophia
welcome.
thought that the Easter Bunny might have myxomatosis. He didn't think we were going to get any.
Well, yes, indeed. But I do remember that from last year. The batches returned a great big batch of single seats
lot there, wasn't
back.
there?
A lot of stuff there, and well, I mean, it's just wonderful to be at Loton Park at Easter. The weather this year is great because last year it wasn't so good, and I can't remember if. I think it was very wet last year.
I honestly don't remember. It's always a little bit chilly because we're not quite in that hot weather. But the forecast for tomorrow is reasonable, so maybe.
Well, I tell you what, I see young Stuart Wing returning. Stuart Wing is one of our ace photographers.
Oh, yes, yeah.
Capture your car photography.
Yes, very good.
Stuart Wing, top man.
Oh, coming down past
Here
the capture your car photography machine.
Indeed. Yes, he is. He is the man. In fact, you very often see his pictures in the programmes and stuff, don't you? And I know he's been up that hill, down the hill, up that hill, down that hill. And in fairness, there's only two of them I've seen today, two signed-on photographers. And Back's returning to the paddock, got the live stream on there.
Isn't that good?
Is it Tom Weaver? Yeah, it was Tom because Dad was driving it earlier, and so I don't think you can hear our commentary, but here he comes now. But lovely to see.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I'm telling you, the camera. It's a quality camera. It's really
brilliant.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, I was asking Rich about it earlier, and he's building a new one, which is going to only be about the size of a packet of cigarettes. Really, it's tiny with the battery and the transmitter and everything.
Yeah.
So. Good technical work there.
I just love this. This is so good because it does genuinely bring you into the action, because somebody like Tom Weaver, extremely rapid young driver, and you'll see it exactly as he's seeing it as he's going up the hill, and you realise just how quick they're pedalling these little cars.
Exactly so, and he's back into his pit box.
He is. Look, yes, is that Richard there again? Next to Carol Nichols. Yeah, that's right. There's Andy Tippett in the Brabham. There's Joseph Mackerel, I think, in the Tigger, and then some of these three-wheelers. Look at that! Is that great sight? Three-wheelers, bikes. I mean, it's all happening, isn't it?
Now, on the live stream, Tim Gooding has made a good point. Easter was much earlier last year, so the weather would have been much worse, wouldn't it?
Good for him.
That is a good point. Yeah,
it's important that we have people that know this stuff.
Yeah, I barely remember last week.
Well, yeah, I know. I can barely remember yesterday. Yesterday I had a great day though. Yesterday.
Yeah. Trains and cider.
Trains and pubs.
Curry and
trains, pubs and curries.
Yeah.
What could go wrong with that?
No, that's a good day out.
That's a good day out, isn't it?
It is a good day out.
And I had a damn good curry as well, actually, and a damn good starter curry as well. I didn't hang around. I went for the Monty, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's
as you did.
But
I did.
Well,
I did, and I had a glass of a pint of water with a bit of ice in the top and a bit of lemon. I didn't have any drink with that because I was set to drive home, you know. And I'd had my allocation earlier in the afternoon, so we had a great day. And then today, up early this morning, she put me in the spare bedroom, you know, last night.
Well, that's fair enough.
It's an early start, isn't it?
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, and I think it's fair enough. And anyway, I slept like a Bambi, and then got up, drove the mighty Mondi up here, freshly MOT'd, freshly taxed.
From your fleet of motors?
From my fleet, yes. So I thought the old Mondi deserved another go.
Yeah.
And it didn't fail the MOT for much. One little patch of welding on the rear sill, 2 track rod ends, a couple of tyres, and we're back in the game.
Yeah, well, for a, what's that, 20-year-old car?
Well, no, I think that's quite my newest car. That's an 07, that one.
Well, there you go then.
Yeah, that's
not far off 20 though, is it?
Yeah, no, it's getting there. Well, some of the others are 20 and one's 20 and one's 30.
Yeah, still keep going though.
They go though. They're like me. They still keep going. I'm older than them as well.
That's it. Noisy and often break down.
Actually, they've been pretty good. They've been pretty good.
Oh, that's all right then.
Yeah, no, that's good because the next one to get back on the road is my old Audi.
Yes.
30-year-old Audi Avant. And I fired her up the other day, put a battery on her, and she'd been slumbering all winter. And she fired up first turn of the key.
Oh, well, that's good for you. Yeah.
Not bad, is it? Yeah. Not bad. Alex, so you're one of our regulars here. You travel a bit of a ways. Where do you come from then?
Over near Peterborough. Most people sort of roughly know, but it's that sort of direction across the other side of the country. But it's only a small country, isn't it? So.
It is. It's only a small country. Yeah, straight down that A14, then off to Oundle Way.
That's it. It's only a couple of hours. So from almost on the coast to Wales, only a couple of hours. Yeah, there.
The OMS is just coming back into the paddock of Ian Tucker there.
Bit of grass on the tyres.
Yeah, I can't see a great deal of. Well, it's hard to tell, isn't it? Hard to tell.
Yeah, I mean, it might not be a visible.
Hopefully,
issue.
he can mend it tonight.
Yes.
A lot of these guys, I've seen them do it times as they get back into the paddock, and then they all help each other, get round there with the spanners, and change a few bits.
There have been times when I've been down there helping out in the paddock as well.
Really?
If they're really desperate.
Is that right?
Yeah.
No, hang on. Desperate. You are a professional. This is your job.
Well, sort of.
You kind of know stuff like that.
On a few things. I don't know.
You do.
I was helping Dave Mockford with his MG Maestro a year or. Yeah, maybe.
Well, that's
Owen
Cool's favourite car and driver.
That's right, yes. He had a bit of an issue, shall we say, where he forgot to turn right. So, yes, myself and Owen helped out a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, but...
well, that's it. That's a great-looking car, actually.
It's great fun.
Yeah,
and he's done a lot of work on that, so I'm hoping he's here at some point this year.
I'm
I'd like
hoping
to see it.
so, yes. I've been following his stuff on Facebook, and, it'd be good to see him back, wouldn't it?
Yes, exactly. And it's... very friendly place here, so it's always nice when you see people that they come around. Some of them only come once a year, but you sort of recognise them in the paddock, and it's nice to see them return. So it's always a fun fun place to be.
Well, we've had the bats return to the paddock. We've got our marshals all on post. We've got the red flags out at the moment. The weather is dry, so that's a result, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think because everything's dried out, if it doesn't rain overnight and tomorrow is a bit sunnier, I think we could get some nice quick times.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I was talking to Richard York of the Porsche fame.
Yes.
And he's also a bit of a meteorologist as well.
Oh, okay.
And he was pointing up into the sky and showing me all these clouds and describing to me the type of clouds and what height those clouds
and
would
you
be
fell
at.
for all this, did you?
No. I'm telling you now, Richard knows stuff.
Okay. Right.
Richard knows stuff. And we were actually talking about cameras, Alex, as well.
Oh, yes. Well,
because he's a film man as well. Well, he was a big film man.
More of this than you realise,
Do you know what?
I
think you opened my eyes last week. I did not know about that side of you. And now it turns out you're much more filmy than me. Even.
Yeah. I've got my big Practice 6 with me again today.
I saw that.
And I've got my Practica. So similar
is that
names.
Is that
35?
35
yeah.
Bill, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. So
and my first camera was a Practica.
Oh, excellent. Yes.
Yeah, and I paid £8 for it. £8 back in the day.
Well, there you go.
Second hand. And I suppose to a young sort of student, £8 was a decent chunk at the
probably
time.
Still a decent amount back then. Yeah.
Oh my goodness me, he's getting his cameras
there
out.
You go,
I say, mine was very similar because. Yeah. That's very much in the Pentax mould. It's a 35mm camera. It's a Practica MTL 3 or S or something.
3, yeah.
And it's old school camera, and it's in that well put together.
Yeah, well, my father bought that in the late 70s.
Did he really?
When my older sister was born.
Yeah.
And then he gave it to me in the early 90s because he wanted something newer.
Yeah.
And I've been using it ever since. So it's done the rounds. It's probably coming up to 50 years old.
Well, I've got in the car, I've got my brother's old Pentax, I think it's an ME or something.
Yeah.
And it's in the boot of the Mighty Mondi. And Oh, I was going to tell you. So, I told you I had that Nikon FA Gold edition.
Yes, yeah.
Well, the films have come back, and apparently they turned out really well.
Very good.
So I haven't seen them yet, but my man at London Camera Exchange, he doesn't normally look at them. I said, well, open them up and have a look. And he said, actually, you've done all right, son.
They're all right.
You've done all right.
They're all right. Okay, well, hopefully you'll get them next week then.
Oh, I'll have them. I'll have them first. So when will I see you next? When are we next on parade?
Well, I'm back here in a month.
Okay.
I don't know if we've got anything before that.
Yeah. I've got to go to Shrewsbury. As you know, you are now officially on their list.
Yes.
So you could get called into action again.
Dragged in there for
another go because you did very well, I thought.
Well, they didn't throw me out, so
they didn't throw you out. I think they liked you. Because we're always looking for new commentators, folks. If you fancy having a go, nail us in the paddock or something, or mention it to somebody, and we're always willing to try folk out, aren't we?
Yeah, and not just commentary, but marshalling. And I'm sure there's positions in the office or in the shop or wherever.
All that stuff.
There's always jobs to be done, and
all volunteers, pretty much.
Exactly.
Yeah, volunteers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that if you'd want to be involved in motorsport but can't afford to be a driver, well, fear not. You can be many other things, and just find somebody vaguely official looking and make them give you a go.
Well, interesting. I've got the sheet here, the entry list for the 19th and 20th, and I see there's a Volvo 940, and I know that car.
Well, I saw it this morning.
Was it driving back out?
It was in the paddock when I arrived, and I thought, that's good. I want to see that, and I've not seen it since.
No, when I was coming in, I saw a white 940 driving out.
Yeah, so
maybe they've gone home for whatever reason.
Maybe. Yeah.
But I know it's pretty quick. But anyway, we're back in action. We've got Kevin Dodd in the the more modern Rover Mini Cooper, old style shape.
It's one of the 90s minis, isn't it? The last of the classic ones, I think.
Yes. Hello, Sophia. Hello. How are you doing? Okay, hang on. I'm just going to switch off my mic a minute.
Yeah. So Kevin Dodd in that. We've got a good batch of minis with us, both old and new. So brilliant to see Kevin Dodd up there. He is going up. He's, I think, in a class of his own. Road-going series production cars up to 1400. Now, the minis are split between various categories. As George Bowen gets a bit sideways down here at Triangle in his MX-5, and a slightly exciting moment for him, but he carries on unhindered. So there we go. Kevin Dodd across the line, 79.63. Good run for him. Just pipped his previous time. As we see George Bowen, and we might get a replay of that moment, but George Bowen not hindered by his slightly exuberant exit of Triangle. So he climbs up to Museum and around the top he goes, and then forward across the line. We'll see if he can improve on his 69.93. Not quite. So that moment in Triangle cost him a little bit, as we see Ian Graham's beautiful Saab. This is an amazing machine, V4 engine. This it's I believe this used to be a rally car, and it's now being employed here for hill climbs, and great to see. You don't see many of these anywhere anymore, so nice to see. Of course, Ian Graham in this machine is probably not going to set the hill alight, but nonetheless, seeing these classics being driven hard is pretty good. So there we go, 71.25 there for Ian. Not the slowest in class, so good job for that Saab. Alex Smith is next through with that Mazda MX-5, car 217, and again, a few of these Mazdas here with us, very similar to that Fiat Abarth also that the Elliots are driving. They're basically the same chassis underneath. Alex Smith rounding Museum, heading towards the finish line. Now, fastest time in this category with a 62.21 is Martin Walters. Alex Smith's not quite there with his Mazda MX-5, 79.06. As we see Richard Case in the Renault Clio also crossing the line. And there we go. We'll just take this moment to say thank you to Sophia, who has been in the commentary box doing so well today. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you again very shortly.
We will, because Sophia, thank you again. Marvellous job, and great to see you back, and we'll catch you another day.
Yes, excellent. So we're running through these road-going production cars under 2 litres. Are we still in practice, Mr. Ponsford, or are we in time
I
competition?
think we're into the interclub and we are timed.
Yes, so this is for honours now.
Yes, it is.
Excellent. Good to have it confirmed, because if I said anything, it would be wrong.
No, it's purely the fact we got mixed here. We got the Midland runners who will be competing for proper job tomorrow.
Yes,
they're just purely practice today, but we've still got the interclub, and yeah, these are for tin pots and glasses and whatever you call it.
Exactly so, and they're doing pretty well. We've got Martin Walters at the top with his 62.21, with Hugh Elliott not far behind, and we'll see whether any of these final few runners can worry those top 2.
72 miles an hour through the speed trap for David Feekins in that lovely little silver Clio. I think it's a 182, so that means it's 182 brake horsepower when it leaves the factory. And in a small light shell like that, that's always going to be quick. Mary Fletcher comes into triangle here in the little Abarth 500 SS. Is that the really noisy one?
That's the noisy one, yeah.
That's a shared drive.
That's it, exactly, yes. And it is, I don't know whether it's meant to be that noisy or whether it's got a fancy exhaust on it, but it's a good little thing. And currently, Marie is 3rd in the standings. I wonder if she can just improve slightly and push for a better position. We'll see.
Another lady driver, of course, Mary Elliott, Hugh Elliott's wife. She's very rapid. She's just gone through triangle in the little 124 Spider.
Had a really good start.
Yeah, very good start. She's in yellow, but nevertheless, she in her practices earlier runs, she did a 65.42, so she's looking to beat that time. So Mary was already she locks there. She's driving very smooth, isn't she?
Yeah, it's looking good. Yeah, Marie Fletcher's gone 3rd with a 64.28, so really good there. Can Mary Elliott climb up higher than 4th? Let's see how she gets to the line. 63.95, she goes 3rd, just pipping Marie Fletcher. So Hugh and Mary Elliott, only about a second between them.
Well, fantastic stuff. Now, you just saw the Aston Martin Vantage of Aaron Perrott in purple sectors. Now, I think there's only 4 in his class, and he did 62.50 earlier. This big V8 Aston Martin, you don't see many on the hills, but what a great sight and sound they are. So he heads off up to the finish. He does a 62.18, will be followed by Paul Bealey in the Audi A1 S1.
Yes, and nice little machine this. So yeah, road going series production cars over 2 litres, which is a pretty wide category really. Over 2 litres could be everything from 2.1 to a massive 5-litre V8, couldn't it?
It could indeed. Well, listen, he's already at fallow now. We're getting a look at Philip Steele, Porsche 911 Carrera C4. This was the car, if you came to the last meeting, you'll know that he won this car on one of those, you buy a ticket job to try and win a car.
That's right, yes.
And didn't he win a Range Rover, and didn't he have the money instead? And he put this towards this Porsche, because he's got another Porsche at home, but an older one. But anyway, he's going great in that. And then Andrew Coleman comes into view in his Audi TT.
Yeah, another well versed in this hill is Andrew. He knows where he's going, and that car's pretty quick. And we'll see. Yeah, Andrew's currently the leader of this category with a 59.68, so just below that minute, which is a good run. Philip crosses the line, 69.76, so not improving. But so that pretty much this class is set, I think, as we then go to John Sharples.
John Sharples, well, he's from Manchester. He's pretty much built this car himself, and he often wins the class. He's always spectacularly quick. He's actually in his class of his own in this class, I think. But you know, it's still great to see. Here comes the entertainment.
At a meeting last year, and he said no, he's just developed it. It's not actually a race car originally, so he's just put a lot of effort and work into it. So well done, Chris.
Well, I tell you what, on the hill as well, just left the line as Chris is heading up towards Museum. Here comes Andy Fagan in the Boxster 986. This is a beautifully turned out car. He won cups in this car last year in championships. If you look inside the car, it's all stripped out. I think he's a locksmith by trade, actually, yeah, from up Wrexham way, I think.
Yeah, well, it's always impressive, and it looks the part, certainly. Andy Fagan doing a good run. He's modified production cars over 2 litres. There's only a couple in this category today, as Gary Hall comes in fast to triangle, gets a little bit squirrely under braking, but gathers it together. And Andy Fagan crossed the line in 57 dead as we switch to Gary Hull, who, I love this little Jedi. This is one of my favourite machines, I think, that I see on the hills. Gary's always entertaining in this machine as well.
Doesn't it look great? Beautifully turned out little car. It comes from Southampton way, and I tell you what, this one here, the little Jedis, a lot of them started off with a 600cc engine, but he's got a little Suzuki GSXR engine in that one, and goes across the line in a 55.66 as Nigel Pitt, Shoestring Racing, comes past us now in the lovely little OMS, composite OMS carbon. I think that car was built, I can't remember if it's 2019 or 2020, but a relatively recent car, and always on the pace, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's always well prepared. The Shoestring Racing, as they call themselves, turn out the car very well despite the shoestring budget. But yeah, Nigel, again, he's one that punches above his weight with that car. He's always doing a really good time, and so we'll see how he does. Cross the line in a 53.17, so not quicker than earlier, but still fast enough.
Interesting. So Michael Crutchley just going by us in the Alfa Romeo Guila. This is a little 1600cc. If you've been here before, you'll know it's an ex-Irish rally car of all things. Quite a bizarre thing, and but again, the sort of car that they drove in the Italian job, the police had in the Italian
exactly
job.
that, yeah. Now, I was talking to Michael this morning, and he said, oh look, he's done some major modification over winter. It's now got a white stripe down the side.
It's got a go faster stripe.
Yep, so that was the major work he did to improve the car. But it's a great machine. I love seeing the Alfa, as we also have Richard Jones in his Mini, and that's great to see, because of course we'd normally have an Austin A40 in this class.
Oh yes, we've Dave Newell. Good afternoon, Dave, if you're watching. But this is old school Mini Richard Jones. Actually, it's very nicely turned out car, isn't it? This is in the classic saloons of sports cars, manufactured up to 1971. So Michael Crutchley in the Guila this is his only other car in the class, will be the Mini, and I confidently expect the Mini to go over the line in a time of 65.11, and will be followed by Stuart Sampson in the turbocharged 998.
Yeah, this is a lovely machine, this, and we've got several classic Minis here today in various different styles and guises. This one, like you said, the turbocharged, it's got that sort of intercooler on the front, so it must have a bit of power. I don't actually know what sort of power it's got.
Well, I know that it's geared for about 125 miles an hour. It's a better circuit car, he was telling me, because it's long geared.
Right, okay.
So the hills are ideal for it. But when I noticed it in the paddock, I thought, that is a beautifully turned out Mini.
Yes, lovely. This and the Clubman that we'll see in a few minutes' time, looking excellent. And yeah, it's great to see some of these classic Minis and some of these newer Minis as well. Wayne Blacker there going quite spiritedly through Triangle. Oh, blimey, got a bit sideways there as well. So really trying. This is the Downton Motor Club Speed Championship. Which is all Minis.
Yes, so Downton was Downton Engineering.
That's right.
Richard Longman.
That's right. They were the Mini specialists back in the 60s.
Downton near Salisbury, isn't it? That's right. They used to produce Minis like nobody else. They were fantastic, weren't they? But yes, as I see this championship going, Wayne Blacker goes over the line in a 64.33. Takes him second so far. Currently leading in earlier was Nigel Sampson with a 63.60 in that very much old school Mini,
yes,
but very nicely turned out, wasn't it?
Exactly so, yeah, I like that one an awful lot. And yeah, there's a couple of guys at the top here that seem to be very close on times, so we'll see how they do in this competition run. as we've got Steve Jarrett in one of the more modern BMW Minis.
So he's finished, just about to finish. Zach Cobb has just gone by us in the Mini SR53, so I think that's the supercharged modern Mini.
That's right, yeah.
So a 68.74 for Steve Jarrett, and then Zach Cobb is heading off towards the finish shortly, and Nigel Sampson's just started in this very nicely turned out Austin Mini Clubman. The two Sampsons, father and son here, of course.
Yes, it's going to, I think, you know, pretty good fight between the older Minis at the top, though, isn't it? So
yeah, it is. Well, here he comes now. This is Nigel Sampson, his dad, and I tell you what, he can pedal that little Mini, can't he? He's making great progress through there. They're from down Southampton way, I think. Let's have a look. Where are they from? Wimborne, actually.
Oh, okay.
Wimborne, that's Dorset, isn't it?
Maybe. There's a Wimborne over in Cambridgeshire as well. So.
No, they're Dorset boys.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Well, he's all purple sectors, which means he's going to go even faster as he gets up to the top. 78 miles an hour in his little Mini Clubman. It does look good, that thing. And round Museum, heading towards the finishing line. And is he going to get sub 60? Not quite. It's going to be just a shade over 62.31. A very good run.
So he leads that class and probably wins that class, actually. Yeah. So in that class, the down to Motor Club jobs, it's Nigel Sampson leading the way from Zach Cobb and Wayne Blacker and Steve Jarrett, and then Stuart Sampson. Now we've got some motorbikes.
I'm not. Okay, that's fine. We'll have some motorbikes. I guess this is one of the shared motorbikes because it's out of sequence.
And we got Morgan's. So we got shared Morgan's.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And we tag these onto groups where we can. And I'm glad other people do the organising of the paddock and getting people on the hill in the right order, because I don't think I'd be able to cope.
I tell you what, they do an amazing job, and I tell you what, they walk miles as well.
They do as well.
Whizzing about the place,
up and down the paddock.
No good for me, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But
them and the photographers cover the most miles, don't they?
Yeah, potentially, but I'd say paddock marshals even more so, really, because I think Gail told me that when she was at Charles, she covered some ridiculous, like 13 miles or something.
Blimey.
I know, it was a lot.
Blimey.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah, hope she's got
Maybe we should do it. Then
that would help.
We'd lose a couple of pounds along the way, wouldn't we?
That's very true, but we'd send the cars out in all the wrong orders.
We would, and I'd be thinking about time I stopped for a burger.
Yes, that's it. Every time you pass the burger van, there'd be another one, so wouldn't be any use.
I know. Well, I remember this one here, this lovely old Morgan 933. Now, this is not the quickest car you'll see on the hill today, but isn't that beautiful?
It is beautiful. It's probably the slowest one we've got here today.
It's one of the oldest, though, isn't it?
But I think they're doing a fine job just to keep it running. I think it's.
Well, I bet it's 100 years old.
Exactly. It's not going to be far off that. So, and these were never really built to last like that. These were relatively cheap cars back then. They weren't designed to be luxury, last forever machines. So,
or come up Loton Park Hillclimb.
No, exactly. So the fact that it's got this far,
I think it's doing all right. It's a lot older than my fleet.
No, exactly. And
so fair play.
There's probably plenty of modern cars that would.
What have we got in the comments? Anything happening?
It's all gone a bit quiet on the comments.
Has it?
So maybe we'll get some remarks about now. We've got viewers all over the world online.
Yeah.
Do you reckon any of them have Morgans not in this country? There's not going to be many, is there?
Well, no, that's a very good point, actually, because obviously Morgan sports cars, your 4x4s and your +8s, it doesn't matter whether you live in Australia or where you live, does it?
Well, I know of a chap who's got a few in America.
Okay.
But there can't be many. They're quite a British thing, I'd have thought. Have they made their way to Australia? Who knows?
Well, yeah, I think so. The old ships, they go on the old ships, can't they?
Yeah.
If you're in Oz, you're thinking, well, it'd be lovely, a nice hot day in your Morgan +8 or +4.
Yeah.
And you think, well, a nice old Morgan, why not?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure you'd want to cross the deserts in this little three-wheeler.
It might take a while.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And
you might need a, well, you'd probably, where would you get your spares for something like this?
Well, that's a good point, isn't it? Yeah.
And I don't know what engine, because as you said earlier, a lot of them were sort of the Jap engines, weren't they?
Yeah.
I don't know what this one's got in it, but it'd be an old one, won't it?
Yeah.
But them old pistons are still going up and down, and the car's still getting up that hill. It's just gone up a steep hill, you know.
Well, yeah, in places it is very steep. So
It's not in the Chelsea category, though, is it?
no, I don't know actually what the steepest hill in this country is.
I think Chelsea. I think so. I've walked them.
Yes, yeah.
The longest is Harewood.
Right.
Yeah, longest is Harewood. Is about 1,400 yards.
Yeah.
And Shelsley is the steepest. It's also, you can tell by the times, because Shelsley, the hill record's 22:37.
Yeah, but it's a very fast course,
Very
isn't it?
fast.
Whereas this, because it's got a few slower corners.
Yeah.
Although this is 1,400 odd yards, isn't it? Here.
It's longer than Shelsley, I think. Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
because
as
you've
long
got
as Harewood.
a lot of it here.
Yeah.
In fact, that's a good point, actually. That's something that I don't know if it's in the programme.
Hang on, it'll be with the map, which I have here.
Okay.
1475. There you go, yeah.
Interesting, yeah, that's interesting. So, actually, I will have to see. But as far as I know, Harewood's the longest, but there isn't much in it, I don't reckon, if this is 1475.
No, similar, because Harewood's actually quite a similar layout, because it twists back on itself,
Yes, it
doesn't
does.
So
It absolutely does. And if you've not been here before, the current hill record here is Wallace Mingus in the Gould GR59. Won the HillClimb Championship 4 times, still competing and very much in the mix. And he set a hill record of 41.76.
yeah, that's a good few years ago now. I was just looking at that. That's in 2021.
21, yeah. Well, sometimes hills get slow because the track deteriorates slightly,
Yes,
you know, and
yeah.
needs resurfacing. You know, and some of the hills like Shelsley haven't been resurfaced for quite a while. So if they do resurface any of the other hills, they usually
It
get
could
hill
speed it,
records,
yeah,
don't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, back's returning to the paddock now. They'll have completed their runs for today.
Yes.
We're working our way through the card. How are we doing for time at the moment?
Right, we are just gone 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. Yeah, so we're not going to be finishing much before 5:30, 6 o'clock.
No, we've only got I don't know, half a batch to get through still.
Oh, and
haven't
I
we?
was going to ask you, because you're in hotel transit tonight.
Yes, yeah.
Could you do the presentation if there's one later?
Oh, yeah, could I
Well,
suppose.
you'd be the man for it, I think.
Well, yeah,
Then I could scuttle off to my little castle in Worcestershire.
yeah. Get going early.
If you believe that.
Yeah.
But well, it's a bit of a run, isn't it, for me? And of course I'll be back again tomorrow, and of course you'll be back tomorrow because you're never going away.
No, exactly.
And Benoit will be here tomorrow, our
Yes.
French commentator.
Yeah.
So that'd be nice, won't it? The old firm returning to the box. And of course on these live stream events we only use one box, which is called Triangle Box. We're watching it live stream, but the top box we tend not to use because it hasn't got the technology we have here.
No, quite. It's not quite as necessary. We use the top box because otherwise we've no idea what's going on in the second half of the lap.
Correct,
But,
correct. And that's fine when it's an ordinary interclub meeting and blah blah blah. But when we're talking to the world, you know,
Yes.
we need to be on our A game, don't we? And use Rich's fantastic technology.
I mean, it does really help us out. So we love HillClimb.TV when it's here.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, yes.
HillClimb TV on YouTube. You can watch it on your phone, like Alex has got it on his phone. He's got one of these smartphones. What's that? An iPhone or something? Samsung or something? Samsung.
Yeah, and it's great whether you're here trackside or the other side of the world. You can watch HillClimb TV.
That's better than mine. Mine's got a smash screen as well,
dear.
but it doesn't have quite that. I think I might be able to get it,
I'm sure you could.
possibly, but yours looks so clear.
Yeah.
You haven't got a smash screen, have you?
No. So as we've got a couple more Morgans on the hill, apparently OK Beamer saw one in Brandenburg. So Morgans have got into Europe at least.
Your question is already reaching a worldwide audience.
Yeah, but I think Aussie Glenn says he's never seen one in Oz. So
All right,
maybe
interesting.
Maybe they don't want three
Well, I'll
wheelers.
tell you what, talking about Oz, I'm going to shout out my old mate Wayne Penrose of Wayne Penrose WBP Racing Australia. He's the VW man who came over last year.
Yes, that's
in a
right.
Super VW, brought it over,
Yeah.
shipped it over.
That's a good effort.
So if you're watching, Wayne, g'day, as they say over your way. This is the pond saying good day to Wayne, and well, I'm going to see you in June. I think he's coming over.
Again?
He's coming over for a play. He's not bringing the car over.
No.
He's going to possibly share somebody else's. I'm not sure what his exact plans are. But if you're around, Wayne, then no doubt you'll be tuning in possibly tomorrow, hopefully, if you're not today. So if you're not tuned in today, get yourself on here, boy.
Yeah.
Hey, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Needs to be following, liking, subscribing, and all the rest, doesn't it?
Yes, because normally I sometimes see it on here, but we've got the whole screen today. But anyway, I've been rambling away, haven't I? We've got this is Bill Tour and Maggie Tour. They were the quickest earlier, weren't they?
Yes, and they're doing pretty well on this run. I think they're going to set a good time because it's coming up as purples on there. So we'll see what sort of times they end up with. Let's see if I can find their earlier run. I'm struggling at the moment.
Well, while you're looking, we've got Tony Pearson and Charlene Pearson. There's the two of them there in that lovely little Morgan. Again, so they're heading up towards the finish. Bill Tour and Maggie Tour. They're heading over the line right now, and they finished in a 66.50, which takes them comfortably into the lead, doesn't it? 66 against 70. So, that's
good
great.
Run.
That's good going.
Very
isn't it?
good run. I can't find it on the computer,
No.
so we'll go with what's on the screen.
Richard's ahead of the game. He's got it all here, hasn't
I think
he?
so, yeah.
So, and I tell you what, this one here, this is a beautifully turned out car. This one of Tony Pearson. It looks at the back there. I tell you what, that gleaming aluminium bodywork looks stunning, doesn't it?
That's right. I think they normally have like a cover or something that goes over that rear end, but I think they take it off.
Perhaps it's faster that way.
I don't know.
Perhaps
maybe.
it's aerofoil. Perhaps it sucks them down to the track.
Formula One style.
Formula One grab 'em
That's
style.
it. Yeah, excellent. And I like this little yellow one. Saw this earlier. Thought it was. It's quite a pretty little machine, isn't it?
It's rather effective, and yeah, it is actually. And actually, they're nipping along, aren't they?
Yeah, we have had in the past some really quick Morgan three-wheelers.
See the Jap engine on the front
Yes,
there?
yeah.
The vertical V twin there.
And they can, when they're really on it with the right driver and everything, they can put in really good times.
Well, this one here, it says Catherine Quinn. She's in the F2. She's driving this on her own. Got no passenger, but may have to carry that bit of ballast instead. So yeah, that's interesting because you researched that earlier about the ballast.
Yeah,
the co-drivers.
Yeah, a good middle section there for Catherine. I seem to remember Catherine's a teacher, like a primary school teacher, and she'd drive this to school sometimes.
No, how wonderful, how wonderful.
Yeah.
I bet that causes a stir when it drives
all
school.
the kids will enjoy seeing that, yeah.
Oh, look at this. I mean, that just looks lovely, doesn't it? Look, British. Is that British Racing Green or black?
I think it's black with that red sort of centre
red
section.
Well, look, here's Anthony Quinn. That's a nicely turned out one. That's
lovely.
A Super Sports. That's classic Morgan. And
that sort of brass covering on the front. Yeah, it's
and
very
that Jap
nice.
engine, that unmistakable sound, because they fitted those Jap engines, didn't they, to Speedway bikes, didn't they?
Quite possibly so, yeah. They were in everything for a little while, weren't they? It was sort of one of those... They were...
no, hang on a minute. The Speedway bikes were mostly single cylinder, weren't they? I think they were single cylinder.
Maybe.
I mean, anyway, somebody more clever than us might know the answer to that. But Anthony Quinn, not the film star, obviously, but he's heading up towards the museum. Steve Lister and Ruth Ross are already just going by us here in this Morgan Aero. Unmistakable. Love that noise.
Yeah, they are great, and you can see why the modern ones use those Harley-Davidson based engines, because it's got that similar sort of rumble to it, hasn't it? So,
yeah, the big Harleys. Yeah,
great fun things.
Of course, the Morgan three-wheelers are still being made, aren't they?
Yeah, the modern ones don't look quite like this.
No, they don't.
Had a lot of development, but they're sort of still the same idea.
But they're about 35, 40 grand, aren't they?
I think, expensive.
Or more, I don't know.
A bit of a wobble at the top there for Steve Lister, but he gathered it together. We had a couple have a few problems this morning in practice, didn't we? So
yes.
He's using a bit of the grass there as well. Steve wrestling that Morgan, it seems.
We're back on bikes. We've just had Mike Tilley in the Honda CR go by us, and he will be followed by Patrick Evans in the KTM XX. So So the bikes are having another go.
Well, these are timed competition for the bikes.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we've probably had all the practice runs now, haven't we? So I think we won't see any more single-seaters.
Got you. How interesting. Yes, well, that would make a difference then. Yes, you're quite right. I think they were looking to get 3 runs in for the Midland practice, which
they've done that at least. And then, this will be the second timed run, I think, for the bikes. So, there goes Mike Tilley.
The bikes are here tomorrow, so they'll be staying over, won't they?
Yeah,
they're staying over. So if you'll be around, you could join the biker gang later on, couldn't you, eh?
We'll see which group parties the hardest, the bikes or where
you'll be invited to them all, I'm sure. Eh?
Well, maybe as long as I've said nice things about them on the commentary, perhaps.
I think you've been all right. But well, it'd be very interesting to see, because you see the Loton social side, don't you?
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I tend to fall asleep before any of that happens.
Well, you've had a long day because you travelled early this morning.
That's right, and out in the fresh air. And
what time did you set off this morning?
Oh, I left about 6, I think.
Yeah, fair play. Well, I shall have an early start tomorrow because I'm with Sir Geoffrey, and I'm going to his place, and I usually get to his place for about 6:30. So I'm thinking we'll be here in good time tomorrow.
Excellent. Very good.
So a bit earlier on parade today than I was today, because I thought, well, I didn't need to get here before about 8:20, which, as it turned out, it was all sort of kind of raining a bit and a bit spitty, and
it was fun.
And but anyway, listen, I digress. So at the moment, Guy Ursell set the fastest time earlier with a 61:35, and Guy Ursell has just gone by us in that Husqvarna. Where Husqvarna's made? Were they Austria or Sweden? One of the two. I think it's
Austrian, you know. But
you know what? I'm going to go with one of those two.
Yeah.
Because I've said this before and I didn't quite get it right. So, because Husqvarna make those excellent power tools, don't they?
Oh, is that the same company?
Oh yes. Chainsaws and all that stuff. Chainsaw job.
Well, they make quick bikes as well. They do. Guy Ursell's going to beat his own time here, I think.
Shatter it.
Oh, 60.26. So that's a really good run. I don't see anybody going quicker.
No, I think you're spot on with that. He's the class of the field in that Husqvarna.
Yeah. So this is the bikes solar riders under 500cc. So some of these are down at the 125 end of the mark and still doing good times. Yeah. And others are sort of more 450.
And some are more conventional looking bikes, and some are more, as you say, this is more of a trials type, scrambling type bike. That's the bike of Cameron Williams. That's the Aprilia XXV SV, and quick things. Doug Parnell heads over the line in a 71:37.
The problem with bikes on hills, I'm told, is that you've only got sort of a minute on the hill, so you don't really get any heat in the tyres.
Right.
And so all the heavy leaning and that sort of thing that like the MotoGP and all those really super bikes do isn't really achievable as much because you've not got that sort of temperature in the grippy tyres.
Gotcha.
So that's why I think these trials bikes do so well, because they're a bit more used to the slippy surfaces and that sort of thing. So
yes. Well, I suppose they're like enduro bikes or not so much trials, but enduro scramble type bikes, I suppose.
Husqvarna is Swedish.
Is that somebody just told
the internet knows.
See, they do know stuff, don't they? And our viewers know stuff. And of course, they whiz on to Google, can't they?
Oh, well, that's true. They might not.
But they probably know anyway. They probably know because they're. But thank you for that information, folks. Brilliant. Swedish, always good quality. Of course, I have a Swedish car in my collection.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. I love the old Volvos.
Yeah, I'm a big Volvo fan as well.
Yes.
Always liked a good Volvo.
Yeah. Solid cars, aren't they?
Yeah.
And quite nippier than people realise.
Some of them certainly are.
My old one's quite nippy.
Yeah.
It's surprised a few. They think, who's that old granddad just gone by me? Oh, he's gone. You won't see him again.
So hopefully that Volvo that was on the books for today will come back for tomorrow.
That's a quick car, that one is too. Yeah. And I'll tell you, if it's the same one as I think it was bought from Leominster Car Auction. An old lady sold it, and they bought it. It was a turbo version, and they put a bigger turbo on. It's about 300 horsepower, and it goes like clappers.
Yeah, brilliant.
Hoping he comes back tomorrow.
Right. So we've had a couple of Morgans thrown into the mix in a slightly odd fashion, but we're here with the bikes, still aiming under 500s, but I think those top few positions are probably now set.
Now there's bikes over 500.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Okay.
And then there's the sidecar and
Brilliant.
trikes.
Brilliant.
And we'll see if a couple of these guys, see whether anybody can make any inroads. But I mean, maybe Keith Haynes might be able to improve his position, but he needs to find a couple of seconds really, which is a big ask.
Yes, it is. But what is great, we've got a nice dry track now. Yeah, the temperature's chilling down a little bit, but it's not extreme cold. But maybe tomorrow we might get a cold start, but a bit of sun to warm the track.
Yeah,
dry day maybe.
I've been told a bit of sun.
We like
We'll
a bit
see.
of sun. Yeah, we like a bit of sun.
We'll see.
Yeah, we will. But we've had a great day here today, haven't we?
It has been a good day's running, and it's been good fun on the microphone as always.
Always.
Mick Lovelock there, 73.85, and that just leaves Keith Haynes, and he's doing all right. He's beating his time, so he may improve a little bit, but I think Guy Ursel is untouchable.
Yeah, I think we have to check that Husqvarna out actually, because it must be a piece of kit, and he can drive it, can't he?
Well, obviously, yeah.
He's a very well-known rider, and I think if I'm not mistaken, he had quite an accident a few years ago, but he's recovered from that, and he's riding very quickly again.
Come back in, and Keith there, a bit spectacular out of museum there, but he's crossed the line, 62.53, doesn't improve in the end. His second half of that run wasn't as quick, but there we go. That's the up to 500s set. We'll see now. I think we'll be in the over 500s. And we'll see what they look like.
Well, we've got Paul Jarrett on another KTM.
Yeah.
KTMs are very popular bikes as well, aren't they?
And Paul is by far the quickest rider in this class.
Now,
so
I don't know. I can't remember if these are twins or singles, but some of the KTMs were singles. They're like big singles, big thumpers, but they got some poke.
Yes. Yeah, I honestly don't know, to be honest. Again, somebody will
Let's
tell
see
us.
if we can see it here. As he turns in...
could be a single.
It's hard to tell, isn't it?
Or it could be...
He's not hanging about anyway.
No.
It's a quick thing.
Yeah, so there we go. Paul Jarrett coming up across the line. He goes 61.05, doesn't improve, but his slower time is still quicker than everybody else. So I think he's doing pretty well.
He did a 59.25 earlier, didn't he? So yeah, that's going to probably win the class.
I would have thought so. Yeah, Marcus Bisson next up, and again doing well against his own time. Whether it's going to be quick enough for him to improve, we shall see. He's currently fourth in the class, and a correction mid-corner there, carries on nicely, and really quite precise riding there, right on the edge of the tarmac.
Yeah, good lines through.
Yeah, very good, and across the line, it's going to be a good run. It's a 61.06, so it brings him up to second, so good improvement there for Marcus. Nice run for him.
Now we've got Matthew Mogridge who's just gone by. He's heading up to Cedar. Now he's on a Suzuki GSXR. Now again, the GSXR, same engine that's in some of those single-seaters down in the paddock.
Yeah, quite a lot of, and some of the Caterham type cars end up with that sort of thing, don't they? So
they do,
it's a good engine. Matthew Mogridge there, he's not bad on time. He's green sectors, which means he's quicker than his previous run. Let's see if he's able to improve. He was sixth. He's stayed sixth, although he improved his time to a 63.8.
So we've got Bob Tunnerdine now on the Yamaha YS. Again,
much older bike.
It is, isn't it? And do you notice that he's like got the old-fashioned black leathers there?
That's right, yes.
And it's sort of very much a sit-up style of handlebar and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. Now, unfortunately, because it's done on engine size alone, I think the age of the chassis or the frame of this bike means that it would never be as quick as some of the others, despite the fact that it's got the larger engine. So, Bob doing a good job despite the setbacks of the machinery.
Looks a nice touring bike, doesn't it? You know, it's sort of comfy, isn't it? You sort of nice, quite raised handlebars, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks like I don't know what age that is.
I don't know, because there's such a variety of bikes in these classes, isn't there? We'd have to seriously do bike research on this, wouldn't we?
Letting the side down here. But Dave Norris there, you saw him going up the Cedar Straight. He was really on it. doing a very good run there.
He did a 61.1 earlier, so and now look, lights are on here. Here he comes, Stuart Mills in the Aprilia. Now this is bikes that I kind of recognise as sort of the bikes, not so much the bikes I rode, but these are more classic motorbikes rather than these sort of sit up and
yes, it's more that sports style. It's more, Dave Norris just did a 60.3, which brought him into second, so
that's
a really
quick,
good run for him.
Quick, isn't it?
And so excellent.
Sub 60 up here is quick, isn't it?
I think for a bike, anything close to that minute is good going, whether it's just past or just under. Stuart Mills also doing very good run. He's not going to quite be there, but it's not far off. 62.18, so good run for Stuart. Tell you what, they've tightened up their times this category.
Right,
it's really that top
quite
top
tight,
6,
isn't it? Quite tight.
Top 7 all within 5 seconds, really, isn't it? So
so we got Mark Williams on the Honda, and he's heading up to museum. As we get a look at Dave Peat on the KTM. Again, he got the classic style, put the leg out there, gets it round, does a wheelie out of triangle. Good lad,
very good.
He's having a go, actually. And looking at his times, well, he's moving, isn't he? And Dave Peat earlier was in 4th position with a 61.18. Can he sort of go quicker than that? Which we've got a 61.05, so that's what he's got to, 59.25 to beat.
Yeah, let's see what happens. I think it's going to be a tall order, but only a couple of bikes left to run in the over 500cc category, and it's 60.43. So another really close at the top. Those top 3 are right on each other's tails.
Yes, 60. He improves on his time from earlier. Okay, Josh Williams is on the hill at the moment, just gone up through keepers on the Husqvarna, another one of these Swedish Husqvarnas, and I have used their chainsaws, and I can tell you they're very, very good indeed. Very effective bits of kit, well built actually.
Very good.
Husqvarna leaf blowers as well. But here comes John Warren and Mark Stafford on this lovely Suzuki trike. John's he rides with one arm, which is remarkable in itself. Look at his passenger leaning out there. It's a bit of a quick thing in it, Suzuki engine. And we're going to have a look, when these ones are gone, we're going to have a look at Simon and Jane Foster, who comfortably led earlier on their bike, the Honda CBR, and there you hear them, they've come off the line, they're nearly, here they come into view. The trike's still on the hill, heading up towards museum. Here comes Simon and Jane, 5 times champions on this bike, and look at Jane, she's leaning across there, now she's leaning the other way as they're going in through keepers there. Beautiful line through there. I tell you what, they are a plucky couple. They are fantastic riders, aren't they?
Yeah, they really do a good show, and they're always very, very quick. They're around that 60-second mark every time. Very consistent. I don't know what their fastest time up here is. We should probably ask them. They'll know.
And it's only a 600cc in that bike, isn't it? Oh, look at her feet. We're actually touching the tarmac there, weren't they? My goodness me. That's good, and they're heading towards the finish. They're going to go a 61.37.
Excellent.
And here comes Mark James Foster, another Foster, part of the Foster dynasty. This is in the Foster BMW. This is the bike that Simon built originally.
Well, possibly. Somebody online said they wondered whether it was the Foster's father who had built it originally, because it might be a bit older. So I don't know.
Well, it was certainly Simon's first bike, so maybe Dad did build the bike.
Okay, I don't know. If the family's here, they can tell you.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
So interesting though, but it's family affair, as you say, and it's great to see, isn't it?
It's a lovely thing, isn't it? That lovely silver. Isn't that beautiful? And they're leaning into museum.
See the big, the wide, those BMW cylinders on the engine stick out to the sides. Very unique sort of
it
look
is
to it.
Yeah, they're great. And of course, the modern BMWs are incredibly competitive on the modern scene, aren't they? And Robert Kenrick, who used to drive a single-seater, obliterated the 1100 class in his Raptor with a BMW motorcycle engine, and nobody's got near him since.
Yeah.
So they're quick.
Yeah,
now,
very
does that mean sort of like the end of the tour?
Well, I think we're not far off it, to be honest. I think that might well be the timed runs. We've probably got a couple of runs though.
Have we?
I think so.
Oh.
I'm going to get in trouble for saying that though, because I've said that in the past, and then the office have told me off. But we'll just quickly have a look. So Martin Walters, he took the road-going production cars between 1400 and 2 litres. He was the quickest there. Yeah, 67.09 it says on here, although several people came up with that time, so I don't think that could be right, but we'll see. And four-wheel drive road going went to Andrew Coleman. That's in that Audi, isn't it? Andrew Coleman in his
TT.
Audi TT.
That's a very rapid TT too.
It is, yeah. Let's have a look. Now, not every category, you know, some like Tony Feekins was up against himself, so he was always going to win that one. So it's Andy Fagan just beat Chris Scrivens in the modified over 2 litre cars.
Yeah. That's a quick Clio, because if you only just beat him, because Andy is a very, very rapid car and driver.
Yeah.
So that RS Clio 200 thing, that was blooming quick.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Gary Hull was at 57.5 in those little bike-engined racing cars. So that was a good run for him. Nice that they get Gary Hull and Nigel Pitt both got under the minute mark, so you know, good runs for them. And let's see, Richard Jones took the classic saloon cars. That was the Mini, wasn't it? Just beating out Michael Crutchley's Alpha. Fastest in the Downton was Nigel Sampson. That was that clubman. He did a 65.46, so
well
really good
quicker
run
than anyone else, wasn't he?
and that's good 2 or 3 seconds quicker than anyone. Then we've got all sorts of Morgans, various different categories. The quickest of them all was Tom Cowley, 75.99, which that's not bad going,
I think that's pretty good going. I mean, we're talking very old cars here mostly, but
exactly, and
not big engines, and in particular if they're carrying 2 people or ballast. You know, if you've only got well, some of them are probably 1100cc. Because the Morgan twins could be 1100, but most of them were 500. So some of the very early ones, I'm guessing. I think they're gorgeous, actually.
They're good fun, aren't they?
I do like to see these.
And you don't realise how many different varieties and shapes there were.
Everyone's different. There's hardly one the same. I mean, that one there, that's 16. You look at that. It's an MFK 868. Obviously, it doesn't give us a clue to the vintage, but I would say it does look much newer. I'm going to plump for 60s, 70s, possibly.
Yeah, possibly so. So a good run there. Guy Ursel was quickest in the under 500cc bikes. Good run for him, 63.54. With Paul Jarrett in the end, that really close run they had towards the end of the over 500cc's. Lots of bikes quite close together. So
now I'm just looking. If we look up on Keeper's Post, I'm just looking where the marshals are. They're not abandoning ship, are they? But he's just going down to sort something out down.
Well, he's running towards the. But I'm guessing he could be running towards the toilets. So
we might all be running to the toilets.
So I think. Well, the ambulance isn't going anywhere. There must be another.
There's something happening, isn't there? There's, we await with bated breath, don't we? Bated is the word. So you're thinking there could be a tin top runoff or something, or?
I'm going to consult.
What are you thinking?
Consult the program.
The program,
which I can't remember now. I did read it earlier. Let's see. Talk amongst yourselves, everyone.
Just talk amongst yourselves, because I know you're only watching from all over the world. We hope you've enjoyed your afternoon, by the way. Keep like and subscribe, and keep the comments coming in that actually I see on Alex's phone here. So there's a lot happening here, isn't it? I have to put my other glasses back on to read these. And
it says followed by 2 runoffs. So
good. Look, here we go. I love the live chat. It says these Eric Lausch says Yamaha XS Twin. Ozzy Glenn says Cafe Racer Lol. And Eric Lausch says XS 50 years old. Welcome to the chat. Blah 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 blah. We got a few Aussies here. We got a few Aussies. Ozzy Glenn, okay. Good day, Ozzy. Good day, Ozzy Glenn. And Lightning Red. Love the phasing. Makes me feel like I'm in space and watching from a special ship. How about that?
No, I have no idea what that
In
is.
a few months. Well, there you go. It's probably best I don't read so many of these because I don't understand what's going on myself. So, but anyway, looks like, look, I think we got a bike runoff.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
You think so?
By the look of it, we have a bike top 10 runoff.
Yes, I think this would be all out speed, no matter what capacity. It'll be the fastest 10 bikes should be in the runoff. And the first bike we've got coming into view is Keith Haynes on the KTM 5MR, and he's obviously in purple sectors because he's the first bike. So I guess the quickest ones will come last. Yes,
Usually, yeah.
maybe. So do you think we'll probably just get a bike runoff?
I think there might be a bike runoff.
And a car run?
Maybe no.
Oh, no, I think that's pushing.
I'm looking at
now, aren't we?
I'm looking at somebody who might know, and
Yes.
he shook his head at the.
Paul shook his head, did he? Well, when Paul shakes his head, then it means no. Probably not.
No.
He's got a smile on his face as well, so that's all good.
Well, he can't be too upset because it's mostly gone to plan today.
Yes, we've done quite well. We've done quite well. Yes, we've done quite well. This is a brilliant entry here today. So that was a 62.72 for Keith Haynes there. So he currently leads the runoff. We have a venerable Roy Holder coming to see us.
He's going to tell you
the
what's
venerable
what.
Roy, who must be obeyed, obviously.
Yeah, he'll tell you what's what.
Yes. Oh, hang on. I'm going to go off the mic a minute.
Yeah. So Stuart Mills, he's heading up towards the finish line. He's going to cross with a 61.13. So a good run there for Stuart. He's currently the quickest bike, and yeah, I've been given a bit of paper that tells me there's the top 10 for bikes, and that includes trikes and sidecars. So next we have Rich Peaty. He was very quick earlier, and we'll see.
So I have news.
Yes, go for it.
So this is the bike runoff. Yeah, these are, like you say, these awards will be all tomorrow, Alex.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So these are the last of the last.
Okay, so we're going to just see these bikes, and we seem to have lost some times off the screen because only one completed time.
I think you're back in the game.
So we got Keith Haynes did a 62.72. Stuart Mills a 61.13.
Simon and
oh, there
Jane.
we go. Yeah, it's back up now. Excellent. So Rich Peaty will be next across line, 60.93. He is fast, that man, isn't he?
He is. And Simon and Jane Foster are already on their way up to keep us here.
They're normally around the 61 second mark. So let's see whether they can trouble the top few. That would be good to see, wouldn't it? A nice mixed finishing order.
Well, yeah, I think that they're going to be, they're always quick, but nevertheless, we've got coming into sight, we've got Marcus Bisson as well. Simon and Jane are already on their way up through Museum, heading up towards the finish now as Marcus Bisson goes by us. He's already in purple sectors as well. 61.49 for Simon and Jane, takes them third.
Excellent stuff. So Marcus Bisson next in his KTM, and he's just reaching the top of Cedar Straight, 81 miles an hour through that speed trap. He brakes hard, then goes around the top end and climbs that hard hill up into Museum for heading onto the finishing line. Let's see, currently 69.3 is his target time. He's going to be close. It's going to be 59.25.
Takes him into the lead.
Yeah.
What a fantastic ride. Now Mike Tilley's just gone by on the Honda CR. Now he's in yellow sectors at the moment after that stunning ride by Marcus Bisson there. My goodness me, I didn't expect anyone to beat Rich Peaty, did you?
No, that was an amazing run there. Mike Tilley also doing pretty well. His first little section of the run was best of all. He's lost a little bit now, but can he claw it back in this final run? It's going to just be over the 60-second mark. It's going to be 61.72. Mike Tilley, he moves into 5th place.
Right, Dave Peat has just gone by us too. He's already up near the top of the Cedar Straight, heading in towards Fallow. Now at the moment he's slightly down. He's 82 miles an hour through the speed trap. Coming round Triangle is Dave Norris on that lovely KTM. Dave Peat is on his way round Museum, heading off up towards the finish as Dave Norris is on the middle of there. Pulls a wheelie over the finish line, 60.21.
Puts him second. Real good run there for Dave Peat as Dave Norris is now powering his way up the hill. He's got green sectors, which means it's faster than he's been so far, but it's possibly not going to be enough to beat Marcus, who's at the top of the tree. We'll see as he comes round Museum. He's got that short run to the finishing line. Let's see whether he can pull it out in the last little section. Here we go, just past the... 59.8, just misses out, goes second.
It's hotting up. Guy Ursell is in purple sectors in the Husqvarna. That's Swedish Husqvarna. Now, he is absolutely on a mission. He's 70 miles. Oh, he has a wobble going in through fallow there, but he holds it together. At the moment, he could well be the quickest. He's 50 seconds going into Museum, and my goodness me, can he take the win? He's looking to beat 59.25, heading towards the line, and it's a 59.39, goes second.
Just misses out. Paul Jarrett is also on a quick run, however, so we'll see whether he, I think the last of our runners, can just squeak into that top section. But if you look, they're all very tight. That top 5 all within about a second of each other. It's a very tight field indeed. Paul Jarrett on a good run as well. Let's see where he is. 49 coming into Museum. That's ahead. He could easily just pull out that last little bit as he heads towards the line. It's going to be a 58.27. He takes the runoff win over the rest of the bike field. Excellent finish there for Paul Jarrett.
Brilliant, wasn't it? I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Well done to you bike riders. Paul Jarrett takes that 58 seconds. Fantastic run. That is the end of our competition for today. Join us tomorrow for a full day of competition runs. Have you liked and subscribed onto HillClimb.TV? Do that if you haven't. And the bikes gave us a brilliant runoff, didn't they, Alex?
That was excellent. It's always fun when they're that tight, and that top group, I mean, what's that, all within a couple of seconds of each other for the whole top 10, so that's really an amazingly close competition.
The pace absolutely bumped up, didn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, I know it's dry track, but wow, that was brilliant, I tell you. I really genuinely love that. That was fantastic.
Very
Thank
good,
you to you bikers.
Hopefully tomorrow we get similar action with the Midlands.
Yes.
As close as that with the single seaters would be amazing.
Give them a wave, folks, as they come down. They've done a fantastic job. All our marshals, thank you very much indeed. Brilliant job. All our medical crews waiting by, standing by, doing their stuff. All our timekeepers, clerks of the course, everybody else who's run the day. We're going to come back tomorrow for another go when the Midland Championship will be obviously timed runs, so all the single seaters.
Now I think it's a relatively early start tomorrow.
8:30 start at the start, and yes, we're going to start early.
So we might have to get on the mics.
Yes,
at least one of us will have to be here quite early to make sure everybody, because it will be live streamed quite early as well.
Yes, well, it'll be a practice run probably first.
Yes,
and then we'll be into live runs, and then we'll probably have a Midland runoff before lunch, and possibly one after lunch.
Quite possibly so.
So isn't that good?
Yeah, so that will be definitely worth tuning in for tomorrow if you're on the internet. If you are close enough to get here, even better, I would say.
Oh, I'd say come and have a look.
I think if you are within a couple of hours' drive, you've got no excuse not to be here.
It's Loton Park near Albury.
Yeah.
Near Shrewsbury.
Near Shrewsbury,
yes. Look it up on your Google Maps, Loton Park.
And it's right on the Welsh border, so all the Welsh people can come.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And
I've got my papers. The wind's getting up, it's blowing everywhere. Anyway, we're going to be signing off for today, folks. I'm Chris Ponsford. Alex Burnham, to you.
Yes, thank you very much, everyone who's put up with our nonsense on the microphone. We hope you will join us tomorrow, and we will love to see you then. And everyone have a nice evening, bright and early Sunday morning for more racing action.